The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall, bidding you welcome to the sound of suspense. Welcome to the fear you can hear. Welcome to the world of mystery. This is a tale of young love. The love of a charming young man for a charming young girl. It is also the story of a mother's love for her child. As you can see, this story is positively dripping with love. But don't be dismayed, because love, like a door, has two sides. And when the other side is hatred, it can drip with venom and gore.
You're a liar, Mr. Snowden. Don't you think I know what you are?
You're wrong, Mrs. Daniels. I love your daughter.
Why?
Because I do, that's all. You can't explain something like that.
Listen to me, young man. Even her own father couldn't bear to look at Bonnie's face. That's why he left her so much money, because he felt guilty for what he felt for his own poor, homely daughter.
Mrs. Daniels, listen to me.
You're a liar, and a thief.
Our mystery drama, The Locked Room, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Jack Grimes and Corinne Orr. It is sponsored in part by new sugar-free Diet 7-Up and by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
Oh, somebody's been drinking my sugar-free Diet 7-Up, and it's all gone.
Oh, actually, I saved a little.
Oh, a bear!
Hiya, Goldie. What's brewing?
That's Miss Goldilocks to you.
Oh, come on, kid. You mean you don't remember me? The cottage, the 3 chairs, the porridge?
Baby bear!
In the fur. Been a long time, Goldie.
But baby bear!
Just call me BB.
You drank all the sugar-free Diet 7-Up, and I have to conduct another diet drink taste test today.
Well, yeah, I saw the sign on the door, a professional taste tester, huh?
But how can I conduct my taste test now?
Why bother? I tried those other diet drinks, too. You'll notice there's still plenty of them around. Why not ask me?
Well, okay, BB. Tell me, why did you drink all the sugar-free Diet 7-Up?
I like the taste. Light, fresh, natural. Sugar-free Diet 7-Up is definitely unbearably delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but it's always something, isn't it? You just about get over paying for the holidays, and April 15th is staring you in the face again. Well, Don was griping about doing her taxes. What else is new? And I remembered hearing that CIT has an income tax service. So I said, look, honey, unless you enjoy torturing yourself, why don't you let CIT do our taxes? Well, I guess I caught him at a weak moment, because that's just what he did. You know, he came home all smiles, said they were fast, computerized, had a $5 minimum charge, and saved him a lot of time and aggravation. And if he needed extra cash, he could have applied for a unilone right there at CIT. Don said the CIT man was so nice, it was almost a pleasure doing the taxes. Almost. CIT makes money happen. We really do. And they make doing taxes almost a pleasure.
Highway that winds its way into the hilly regions upstate. The hour is late, and the sleek white sports car whose hood ornament faces north is the only vehicle for miles around. Even the sound of its purring engine doesn't seem to disturb the quiet of the countryside. But inside the car, the sound level is something very different.
Davy, please, turn that down before I go deaf.
Oh, what's the matter? Don't you like music?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to save my hearing.
Okay. Is that any better?
Much.
how much longer is this going to take? You said it was only 30 miles or so to the house, and we must have driven 50.
We have not. You're not watching the mileage.
Listen, there are so many gadgets on this dashboard, I wouldn't even know where the speedometer is.
But you do like the car, don't you?
Like it? Hey, Bonnie, do you know what I've been used to driving all my life? Second-hand pickup trucks. That's about all our folks could afford.
I hated this car at first when Mother gave it to me. I mean, she must have thought it was what every young girl wanted on her 17th birthday. But the truth is, I was scared stiff of it.
Well, why should you be?
I don't know. Just was. It always felt like it was running away with me.
Ah, but now you're running away with it and me.
Oh, don't put it that way. I don't feel we're running away, Davy.
Oh, of course not, kid. That it was just a figure of speech.
Davy, look! We're almost there. Oh, there's the old red barn I told you about.
Hey, great. Do I make a right here?
Yeah, a sharp right, and then straight up the hill until you come to the side. Is it still there?
When was the last time you were here, anyway?
About 10 years?
You're no kidding.
Yeah, that's right. I was only 8 when we left.
Oh.
Davy, there it is. You can see the chimneys.
Oh, wow. Now, how many chimneys does the house have?
It seemed like hundreds. There was a fireplace in every room except the bathroom. Wait till you see it, Davy. Oh, just wait. Well, there it is. What do you think?
Now, that's what I call a real funky old house. How big is that place?
It has 4 floors and I guess about 30 or 40 rooms. I never counted them.
All those rooms and nobody living in them?
I know. It does seem like a terrible waste, doesn't it?
Oh, Bonnie, you're speaking to one-room Davy Snowden, remember? The only place I lived in my whole life with more than one room was the farmhouse. Yeah, well, that had 3.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't keep talking about that. I mean, you know, how poor you were.
Okay, kitten. Rich little girls get to feeling guilty when they hear stuff like that. Look, let's not sit out in the car all night, huh? Let's go look at that old haunted house.
It is not a haunted house.
You sure you got the key now?
Yeah, right here in my purse.
And the lights are working?
I told you, we rent the place every summer. We have to keep the electricity turned on.
Well, let's go then.
There's a light switch right near the door. Yeah, here it is. There.
Look at the size of this place.
I know, it's a terrible old barn of a place. That's what my father called it. When he died, well, Mother just thought it was foolish, the two of us living here all by ourselves.
Looks kind of run down.
I'm afraid it is. But the foundation is still solid.
Plenty of furniture. Hey, come on, show me the rest of the house, huh?
What would you like to see first?
Well, upstairs. That's where the bedrooms are, right?
Yes.
Well, that's the first thing we have to do. Decide which bedroom we want.
Oh, Davy.
Do you love me, Bonnie?
Oh, you know I do.
Say it.
I love you.
Say, I love you, Davy.
I love you, Davy.
Well, in that case, let's pick out the bedroom. How many choices do we have?
At least 10.
Oh, it might take us all night. Come on. No, I don't like the look of that one. It's too gloomy.
That was my mother's room.
You mean your folks had their own room?
That's right.
Well, maybe that's how they do things when you're rich. But me, I'm just a country boy. Now, let's see about this door. Hey, this one's stuck.
No, it's locked. It's always been locked.
Well, what for?
I don't know.
Well, what's behind it? Another bedroom?
Honestly, I don't have the faintest idea. It's been locked ever since I can remember. Daddy once told me never to go near this room. I once remember my mother talking about it, sort of nervously.
Oh, that sounds very mysterious. What do you say we break it in, huh?
Oh, Davy, no, we can't do that.
Well, gee, aren't you curious? Maybe it's full of hanging women, like in Bluebeard's castle. Or maybe that's where the family jewels are hidden.
Oh, let's leave it alone, Davy. I was always scared of that door.
Yeah, but what's it locked for? Seems to me when a door is locked, that means there's something pretty interesting behind it. Stands to reason, right?
Well, I'm sure it's just some old storeroom or something.
Bonnie, listen, there could be something valuable in there, something worth money. And since the house is yours, this is your house, isn't it? Your father left it to you, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, if there's anything valuable in there, it belongs to you.
Oh, Davy, all those promises not to talk about money.
I'm not talking about your mother's money. I'm talking about what's yours, rightfully yours.
But the house isn't really mine. Not yet. Not until I'm 21, and that's almost 4 years from now.
Now, don't be technical.
Oh, Davy.
Okay, if that's how you feel about it. We got plenty of time anyway.
Davy, remember what you said about the fire?
It's getting late, Bonnie. Don't you think we should be in bed?
Couldn't we have a fire first, please?
Sure, anything you say. We want this night to be perfect, don't we? Yeah, I guess I am a little like that. Boastful about my poor childhood. As if it's a badge of honor or something. We didn't light fires because they were cozy and romantic, only because they made us warm. They're not very warm at that. Locked rooms. Yeah, that's really something, a locked room. The only room in our place that had a lock on it was the outhouse, and even that didn't work. Hey, you asleep? Hey, kitten, wake up. It's time to go to bed. Come on, Bonnie, wake up. Hey, what's that? For Pete's sake, there's a car outside. Hey, Bonnie, wake up. There's somebody coming up.
What?
We got company.
Oh, no.
Well, who is it?
Oh, Davy, it can't be. Yes. There's her car outside. You can see it through the window.
You mean it's a neighbor or something?
No, it's my mother.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I have to let her in. She knows I'm here. She saw my car outside.
Well, I'm surprised you two aren't in bed already. That was the general idea, wasn't it?
Mother, please, let me explain.
I suppose you're David Snowden.
Yes, I am, Mrs. Daniels.
I see we have no trouble recognizing each other. Bonnie, fix your clothes. They're a mess.
I was just lying on the rug in front of the fireplace.
Yes, I've heard all about you, Mr. Snowden. Thank goodness I had the sense to think of this place when Bonnie didn't show up at home.
You have it all wrong, Mother. Davy, tell her.
Mrs. Daniels.
Never mind. I understand everything. I was afraid something like this might happen as soon as Bonnie started mentioning you in her letters from school. Bonnie, get your things. We're going home.
Mrs. Daniels, listen to me.
Sorry to break up your party, young man.
We're married, Mrs. Daniels.
What did you say?
Bonnie and I were married this afternoon. I've got the license right here.
It's true, Mother. We were married in Elkton.
That can't be. You're underage.
Not in Elkton, Mother. 18 is old enough. Davy and I are married, so you can't tell us what to do.
For the love of heaven. I think I have to sit down.
Oh, well, here, Mrs. Daniels. I'll just get the sheet off this chair
Mother,
here.
please try to understand.
I understand, Bonnie. I went through a dozen Davies when I was your age. Oh, Bonnie. Oh, my poor Bonnie.
Well, now, you don't have to feel sorry for her, Mrs. Daniels.
Don't I?
No, because I love her.
I suppose you have no money.
Mother!
Be quiet.
No, Mrs. Daniels. My family were farm people. My father's dead, my mother's alive, but I don't even know where. But you don't have to worry about that, Mrs. Daniels. I didn't marry your daughter because of money.
Didn't you?
No, I didn't. Bonnie and I talked about it. I almost didn't marry her because of that, because of what people like you would say.
You're a liar, Mr. Snowden. Don't you think I know what you are?
You're wrong, Mrs. Daniels. I love your daughter.
Why?
Because I do, that's all. You can't explain something
Listen
like
to
that.
me, young man. Even her own father couldn't bear to look at Bonnie's face. That's why he left her so much money, because he felt guilty at what he felt for his own poor, homely daughter.
Oh, Mother, don't, please.
Mrs. Daniels, listen to me.
You're a liar. A liar. And a thief.
Stop it. Stop
You've got a smooth tongue, Mr. Snowden. A handsome face and a smooth tongue. And I'm sure you've convinced my daughter that you're utterly sincere. But it's only her heart you want to steal, not her fortune.
I love Bonnie. That's all there is to it. We're married, and there's nothing you can do about it.
You're quite wrong. There's everything in the world I can do about it. I intend to have this marriage annulled immediately.
You can't do that.
You have no idea how much money can do, young man. Bonnie, I'm going home now, and I want you to come with me.
No, I
Don't
won't.
make it any worse than it is now.
I won't go with you.
You see how it is, Mrs. Daniels?
Yes. I see how it is. Very well, Bonnie. But you'll regret this. Mark my words.
Mother, I can't live without Davy. If you make us separate, I'll never forgive you.
You will, darling. Strangely enough.
I'll kill myself. Do you hear, Mother? I'll kill myself if you do this.
Now, don't talk nonsense. You think your heart will break. But it won't. A heart doesn't break. It withers. That's what I don't want you to find out. Goodbye, Bonnie.
I mean it. I'll kill myself. Oh, Davy.
As Shakespeare informed us, the course of true love never did go smooth. And perhaps the same applies to the course of untrue love. But let's not judge the sincerity of young Davy Snowden just yet. Let's wait and see what happens next to the newlyweds when we return shortly with Act 2.
And now, another story of the ball and chain, as Kellogg's Special K presents The Library.
Welcome to the public library. May I help you, sir?
Yes, I'd like to check out Famous Laundromats of the World by Audrey Schnorbart.
Sir, excuse me, but isn't that ball and chain you're wearing just like the ones they use in the Kellogg's Special K commercial?
This ball and chain?
Yes, that one. How are you going to get rid of it?
Well, lots of good exercises, and by eating smart at every meal, starting with the Special K breakfast.
Don't you have to watch your calories?
Yes, and the Special K breakfast is less than 240 calories.
Less than 240 calories?
Right. A 1-ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, tomato juice, and coffee. It's really tasty, and it's going to help me get rid of this ball and chain. I'd say it's long overdue, get it?
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's. You're probably well aware of the advantages of a well-tuned car in helping you obtain better gas mileage. A well-tuned car can run more efficiently, more economically. If all cars were properly tuned and operating efficiently, we could save millions of gallons of gas. To help you evaluate your car's efficiency, your participating GM dealer has 2 new energy checks available. One is an economy checkup that includes an engine diagnosis along with several other inspections to see if your car is up to specs. The other is an economy tune-up to help give you a smooth-running engine that performs efficiently. Making the most out of the gasoline around is one of our country's basic challenges. It's important to you and to us at General Motors. That's why we're inviting everyone to come in now for a GM energy check at a Chevrolet, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Buick, or Cadillac dealer. Get together with him and get more of a run for your money.
Now let's return to the locked room. The door we're looking at right now isn't the door to the old Daniels mansion upstate. This door is reached by walking up several long flights of stairs before you can read the faded numerals 4G.
Are we there, Davy?
Yeah, honey, here we are. Hey, you're wounded pretty bad.
No, I'm all right. I warned you that I'm not very strong.
And I warned you that a 4th-floor walk-up is no fun.
We don't have anywhere else to go, Davy.
Yeah, I know that, all right. Well, brace yourself. Here's the Snowden residence. I suppose I should carry you over the threshold. Well, come on in. Don't just stare at it.
It's, not at all bad, Davy. Really.
No, you don't have to say that. Don't say anything except I love you. That's always nice to hear.
You know that I love you, Davy.
Then close the door and show me.
Oh, Davy. Davy, I'm so worried.
Yeah, I knew that my room would affect you that way.
I don't care about the room. Anywhere is all right if I'm with you. We'll get along. And then I'll have the money my father left me.
Yeah, and 3 years, if you survive that long.
I'm sure my mother won't change her mind about us. I'm sure of it. As soon as she gets to know you.
Oh, Bonnie, couldn't you tell? It was hate at first sight. She took one look at me, and it was hate kill.
Davy, do you think she can really do what she said? Get our marriage annulled?
I don't know. It was a legal marriage. I mean, you didn't need parental consent in that state.
But she's so smart about such things. She's run my father's company since he died. She has all these lawyers on her payroll.
Stop worrying about it, Bonnie.
But what if she could do it? I couldn't stand that, Davy.
Stop worrying, I said. You got one thing going for you, kitten, and that makes all the difference in the world. Your mother loves you. She wouldn't hurt you for anything.
Davy, tell me the truth. Do you think I'm homely?
I think you're beautiful.
Oh, I know that isn't true, but I'm not really repulsive, am I?
Are you kidding? Come here.
Oh, Davy. It's true about my father. I know that. He was so disappointed that I wasn't pretty.
He must have needed glasses. Who's that? Nobody even knows I'm here. Hello?
Is this Mr. David Snowden?
Yeah, that's right. Who's this?
My name is Hedinger, Mr. Snowden. I'm an attorney, Hedinger and Doles. We're on Vanderbilt Street.
Yeah, so?
One of my clients is Mrs. Harriet Daniels. I'm sure the name is familiar to you.
Yes, I've heard of her.
I was wondering if we couldn't get together to discuss a certain matter regarding her daughter, Bonnie.
You mean my wife, Bonnie?
Who is it, Davy?
Yes, that's right. I wonder if it would be convenient for you to come to my office sometime this afternoon.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Hedinger, but Mrs. Snowden and myself are a little busy at the moment.
Well, what about tomorrow, then? Would that be possible?
Is it my mother's lawyer?
Yeah, one of them anyway.
I beg your pardon?
All right, Mr. Hedinger. I'll come to your office tomorrow. Say about 10 o'clock?
That would be just fine. The address is 50 Vanderbilt. We're on the 21st floor.
I'll be there. Well, it looks like the fun is starting.
Oh, Davy.
Please sit down, Mr. Snowden. I think you know the situation as well as I do, and you've probably anticipated my first question.
Well, I'm not sure I have, unless it's, why don't I just go away and stop bothering her daughter?
It's something like that. But it would be hardly sensible to expect you to do such a thing without incentive.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't tell me I'm about to get an offer, a money offer.
Nobody's talking about a bribe, I assure you. There's a practical reason for such an offer. Annulment proceedings, no matter how certain we are of success, cost money. Mrs. Daniels could actually realize quite a savings if you cooperated for some flat figure, say $5,000. Not unreasonable of her.
Do me a favor, huh? You tell Mrs. Daniels that I wouldn't give up my marriage license for $1 million.
I notice you specify $1 million.
So long, Mr. Hedinger.
Please sit down. That wasn't all I had to tell you.
Okay. What else is there?
We can sue for annulment on a few other bases.
Such as what?
Falsification of your marriage certificate, for instance.
Falsification? What the heck are you talking about?
Your age, for instance. You're not 24, Mr. Snowden. You happen to be 30.
Well, what's so important about that, for Pete's sake?
You gave your age as 24.
Well, so what? Everybody knocks a few years off their age at some time or other. It's just business.
Let's see. Your business is freight forwarding, isn't it? You work in a three-man company at a salary of $145 a week. Surely you didn't think it was necessary to dye your hair or anything like that for the sake of executive advancement.
Look, Mr. Hedinger, first of all, I'm 29, not 30.
I'm a few days premature, I suppose. You'll be 30 next week, won't you? Happy birthday, in case I don't see you.
I just didn't want Bonnie to think I was too old for her.
Don't make everything so difficult, Mr. Snowden, because you know how it's going to end. Mrs. Daniels is the most determined woman you've ever met in your life. She scares the pants off me, I can tell you.
Oh, well, that's your problem.
If she has to spend $1 million to get Bonnie out of your clutches, she'll do it. I'll guarantee you $10,000 if you'll sign an agreement.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hedinger. No can do.
You're a stupid boy, do you know that? Sorry, I take that back. A stupid man.
So long, Mr. Hedinger. Give my best to Bonnie's mother. And tell her we're both very happy.
Oh, Davy, it's horrible. We don't have a chance. I know we don't.
Well, it doesn't look good, that's for sure.
You should have told me the truth. You should have told me you were really 27.
But I don't know. I just didn't want you to think that I was still an undergraduate at that age.
Oh, there's got to be some way out, Davy. There has to be. If you could just talk to her.
She won't give me the chance. She's made up her mind that all I want is your lousy money.
Well, what if there wasn't any money? What if I signed away the rights to the money my father left me? That would make her believe us, wouldn't it?
Well, that's pretty drastic, kitten. I mean, that money is yours. When you come of age, you're entitled to it.
But I don't care about money, Davy.
Well, you don't now, maybe, but later, I couldn't have you making that kind of sacrifice for me, Bonnie. You probably hate me for it later.
Oh, I could never hate you. I love you so much. I think I'll love you after I'm Davy. Davy, what are you thinking?
Nothing.
Davy, you don't care about the money, do you? Please talk to me.
Bonnie, I have an idea. I have a very crazy, very good idea.
About what?
Well, I wouldn't blame you for not going through with it. I'd understand.
But what is it?
You remember what you said? What you told what you told your mother up at the house about your killing yourself?
Yeah, I remember.
Well, she didn't believe you, of course. What if your mother really thought you were serious about killing yourself? Wouldn't that make her change her mind in a hurry?
Well, yeah, I suppose it would, but we could never fool about such a thing.
No. If we were smart, we could.
No, she's smarter than both of us put together. I know her, Davy. There's just no fooling her.
Wait a minute. Wait. Don't throw it away so fast. Let's talk about it. Let's think for a minute.
But it just wouldn't work.
Yeah, but if you really did try, Bonnie, only you didn't try too hard, only enough to make it look good.
Well, how can I do that?
There's a couple of ways. Gas, for instance. We could fix up a phony gas suicide. Bonnie, don't look like that.
I'm sorry.
All right, forget it. Forget I ever said it.
No, go on.
It could be something like, sleeping pills. You've got sleeping pills, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
Well, you wouldn't have to take more than 2. Maybe 3. Now, that won't hurt at all, and we'd make her think you took the whole bottle. Now, don't you see how easy that'd be?
Yes, I suppose so. Oh, Davy, hold me, please.
Oh, kitten, you could write your mother a letter. You could tell her what you were planning to do, but that I don't know about it, see? You could say you were going to swallow the whole bottle of pills. But you'll actually take just a few. Then when your mother shows up here...
I'm so scared, Davy.
I promise you nothing will happen except that your mother will know that you meant it, Bonnie. About loving me so much. You do love me, don't you?
Yes, Davy. I do.
There's another famous saying about love, that it conquers all. Presumably that includes time, distance, and mothers-in-law. But will love and deception succeed together? We'll find out shortly when I return with Act 3.
Ever had a tall, tall, frosty glass of amplitude? Well, if your beer is Budweiser, you've had it often. Amplitude is a fancy word for the entire taste phenomenon, the total experience of flavor. Next time you take a healthy swallow of Bud, watch what happens. Think about the sensations you're experiencing. Notice how the flavor of Bud comes on nice and easy. Not too strong, not too quick, just right. Notice the clean, crisp togetherness of Bud's taste. Everything in perfect balance, with no single element jumping out at you. And there'll be no aftertaste either, no hanging on. And you'll be refreshed and ready for another glassful. Actually, Bud drinkers have been experiencing amplitude for years, but they never phrase it that way. They just say Budweiser, and that says it all. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
It's so good to see the green grass grow again. After years of being careless, now the folks seem to know it's time to pitch in. Time to pitch in. We can breathe a fresher air. There's more beauty everywhere, 'cause more people seem to care. They're all pitching in. We've got to pitch in to clean up America. We've got to pitch in to clean up America. And if everybody keeps pitching in, we can call on America. America the beautiful. Once again. Oh, yeah.
How can you pitch in? Write United States Brewers Association, P.O. Box 2570, Washington, D.C.
Things seem very normal in apartment 4G, the one-room residence of the newlyweds, Bonnie and David Snowden. Music is playing on their transistor radio, a frozen dinner is thawing slowly, and Bonnie and David are hunched over the kitchen table, composing a letter. The only thing that makes this domestic scene a bit bizarre is that they are collaborating on a suicide note.
Dear Mother, I warned you what I would do if you tried to get our marriage annulled. Tonight, I'm going to take a whole bottle. Davy, do we have to have that music?
Okay. I didn't know it was bothering you.
I'm nervous enough as it is.
Okay, I said.
Dear Mother, I warned you what I would do if you tried to get our marriage annulled. Tonight, I'm going to take a whole bottle of sleeping pills. Oh, Davy, it just doesn't sound right.
It's not so bad, Bonnie. Look, maybe you better put in something about me not knowing about it. I think that's important, that your mother realizes that I had no idea you were going to try to take your life.
Well, maybe you better write it, Davy. I'm just no good at this sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess you don't have much experience writing suicide notes.
Well, I just can't help feeling it's wrong.
Wrong? What? How?
Well, you know.
No, I don't. The only thing that could be wrong about it is if it didn't work, but... Okay, if you've got cold feet, okay, we'll let your mother go through with it. We'll let that lawyer Hedinger get our marriage annulled. Is that what you want?
Well, you know it isn't.
And have you got a better idea than this? Have you?
No.
And tell me what you want to do, Bonnie. You name it.
Well, just tell me what to write in the letter.
Well, the first line is okay. Only after that, I think you should say, Davy doesn't know I'm doing this. I didn't want anyone to know so that nobody would stop me.
Wait a minute, not so fast.
Right, well, you don't have to put it down exactly the way I said it. Make it sound like yourself, you know.
Yeah, I'll try.
And, what else? Say something about, I'm doing this because I love Davy, because I can't live without him.
Yes.
Oh, that'll make her understand. You see, she'll realize that you might try to kill yourself again if she broke us up. And if she loves you, she won't want that to happen, Bonnie. You see?
Yes.
Hey, come on. You're getting tears all over the letter.
Oh, Davy.
Go on, Bonnie. Now sign it. That's right. That's just perfect. Now, you got the envelope?
Here.
Okay, if I get it into the mail now, she'll have it tomorrow morning. Now, she's sure to phone here as soon as she receives it.
Davy, she might even call the police.
Oh, it doesn't matter who she calls. Police, a doctor, it'll be okay. I mean, you'll really be asleep, Bonnie. You'll take just enough pills to put you into a nice, deep sleep. Understand?
Yes. I understand.
Now, I'll be right back, sweetheart. I'll just run downstairs and mail this, huh?
All right, Davy, but hurry back. I don't want to be alone. What time is it, Davy?
9:15.
Do you think Mother got the letter this morning?
Well, you never know with the post office these days. But it could happen.
Even if the letter gets there, she might not be home. She would have left the house early.
Doesn't matter, Bonnie. Sooner or later, she'll see it.
Well, I just don't think it's going to work, Davy.
There. That must be her.
Do you think it is, really?
There's no doubt about it. I don't know anybody who'd call me this early in the morning.
Well, how about the people at your office?
No. I'm away on a 2-week honeymoon, remember? They don't even know I'm in town.
Well, Davy, shouldn't you answer it?
No, kitten, no. Don't you understand? She's got to get worried enough to do something. And you've got something to do, too.
You mean take those pills?
That's right, Bonnie. Hey, you see? She stopped calling. She's probably on her way over here right now. Get the pills, Bonnie.
Yes, I have them right here. There are only 3 of them.
Okay, yeah, get you a glass of water.
All right. Davy, you're sure it'll be all right?
I'm sure, Bonnie. It takes like a dozen of these things to hurt you. You just take a couple. Yeah, no, you better make it all 3, just to make sure you're fast asleep when your mother gets here.
She's only about half an hour away.
Well, that's time enough if you take them now.
Yeah, all right.
You can trust me, Bonnie. You know that. I won't let anything happen to you.
Yeah, I know that. I know that, Davy.
Okay, now, come on, take the pills, sweetheart.
Yes.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it?
No.
Now, all you have to do is go back to bed. Go to bed and sleep.
That won't be so hard either. Even without the pills. I slept so badly last night.
Yeah, I know.
Davy,
Yes, kitten?
please kiss me. Kiss me. Good night.
One second. Oh, Mrs. Daniels.
Where is she? Where's Bonnie?
Well, not to take it easy. She's sleeping.
Is she all right?
Well, what are you talking about? Of course she's all right. She's just asleep. She likes to sleep a little late in the morning, that's all.
Bonnie? Bonnie?
Hey, now, what do you think you're doing, Mrs. Daniels? Let her sleep, would you? She's had a bad night.
Look at her color. Look at her. Can't you see this isn't normal?
Well, she's always a little pale. So what?
Bonnie, can you hear me? It's Mother. Oh, dear God.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
You idiot. Where were you? I phoned here about an hour ago. The phone just rang and rang.
I was out. I went out to get the paper. I just got back a couple of minutes ago.
Bonnie, darling, wake up. Wake up. Oh, why didn't I call somebody? Why didn't I call a doctor?
A doctor? What for?
Here. Read this.
Well, what is it?
Where's your telephone? Where is it?
Good Lord, this letter is...
We need a doctor, you idiot. Bonnie, maybe... Oh, no.
Mrs. Daniels. She's just sleeping, Mrs. Daniels.
She took the pills. All those pills.
There weren't that many in that bottle. Maybe she'll be okay. I'll get the doctor.
It's too late. It's too late.
Dad, I tell you. Bonnie, wake up, kitten. Wake up. It's all right. Everything is all right. Bonnie, for Pete's sake, it's all over now. You've got to wake up. Oh, she's so cold. Bonnie, wake up!
Leave her alone. Can't you leave that poor girl alone, even now?
Mrs. Daniels, I swear there weren't many pills in that bottle.
It wouldn't have taken many. Not with Bonnie's heart. It wouldn't take us. Well, it wouldn't take many.
What are you talking about?
Bonnie had rheumatic fever when she was 12. Her heart's been weak ever since.
Oh. No. Bonnie, please. Please. You've got to wake up. Hello?
Mr. Snowden?
Yes.
Walter Hedinger. You, remember me, I trust.
Yes, I remember you.
Sorry to disturb you. I realize that you're still in, mourning, of course.
What do you want?
I was wondering if you might be able to attend a meeting at our offices at, 10:30 tomorrow.
A meeting? What for?
It concerns your wife's estate.
What are you talking about? I've got nothing to do with my wife's estate, and you know it. Bonnie was in 2 weeks, and I got a letter from you telling me so.
Well, there is still something that Mrs. Daniels wishes to discuss with you. Something, beyond the, shall I say, legality of the situation.
Look, if Mrs. Daniels thinks she can make some kind of trouble for me...
No. It's nothing of the kind.
Don't try to kid me. She still blames me for Bonnie's death. She'd do anything she could to hurt me.
I assure you, Mr. Snowden, it's to your advantage to attend the meeting tomorrow.
My advantage?
That's correct. Because I can promise you one thing. Mrs. Daniels wants to do the right thing.
Please come in, Mr. Snowden.
Yes. How are you, Mrs. Daniels?
I'm as well as I can be, thank you.
Yes, of course.
Don't look stricken, young man. Nobody's going to hurt you. Have a chair.
Thank you.
Well, let's get started, shall we? Mrs. Daniels, as you know, we've already informed Mr. Snowden that he has no legal claims on your daughter's estate.
Yeah, I know all about that.
Did you explain why? You see, Bonnie's inheritance from my late husband wasn't due until she reached the age of 21. Since her death, it automatically reverts to me.
I didn't expect anything, Mrs. Daniels.
Very kind of you, I'm sure. However, Mr. Snowden, the fact that you did marry Bonnie imposes a certain kind of obligation on me. Some kind of gesture regarding your welfare.
I don't understand.
Mr. Snowden, you seemed most impressed by that old house we own upstate. You recall the one I mean?
Yes, of course.
It was once valued at a great deal of money. And it's yours.
What was that?
I'm deeding you the property. It would have been Bonnie's in a few more years. I have no further use for it. You may have complete possession of the land, the house, and everything in it.
Everything? You really mean everything?
Of course. Mr. Hedinger will see to the formalities. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go.
What? Gee, Mrs. Daniels,
Please don't thank me. I can stand anything from you now except gratitude. Good day.
Well, let's take care of the details.
Mr. Hedinger, could I ask just one question?
Yes?
When Mrs. Daniels said I could have everything in that house, well, there are certain places, locked rooms and things like that. Am I entitled to all of the contents?
You're entitled to every stick in the place, Mr. Snowden. In fact, Mrs. Daniels left you this full set of keys.
Oh, look at it. Look at it. It's all mine. The whole house, mine. God knows how much it's worth. Yeah, sure, it's run down, but the furniture alone. Now, where's that light switch? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, what did Bonnie call it? A terrible old barn. Yeah, but it's all mine, sweetheart. It's Davy's bar now. Maybe it's not $1 million, but it's something. Where are the rest of those keys? A dozen keys, but one of them must open that door. Yeah, one of them will do it, so let's just get going, Davy boy. That was really something, her giving me this house. No bless oblige, I guess. I gotta give the lady credit. She's got class. Let's see. It wasn't this floor. No, it was the next. There's gotta be a very good reason for locking up a room. There's gotta be something very valuable inside. Yeah, that's the door. That's the one. Okay, now to find the key. No, not that one. This is... it's obviously too small. How about this one? No, that didn't do it. This one's too big. No, not yet. I hope it's here. The lawyer said they were all here. I'll try this one. Well, it slipped in all right, but will it turn? Wait a minute, it's stuck, but I think it's going to do it. I think it's going to work. That did it. The lock's open. All I got to do is open the door. Pretty dark in there. Shades are down. What? I see a lamp over there.
Some more sherry, Walter?
No, thank you, Mrs. Daniels.
Stop looking so grim, Walter. Sit back and relax.
Mrs. Daniels, I can't help but worry about what happened.
Worry? About that scoundrel?
You know what I mean. When that police lieutenant questioned me about Snowden's death, well, I didn't actually lie to him, but I didn't tell him the whole truth either.
You were completely honest, Walter. I'm sure you were.
No, I wasn't. You see, I'm absolutely sure you knew what you were doing when you deeded that house to him.
Of course I knew what I was doing. I was being generous.
But you knew what would happen, didn't you?
Yes, Walter, I knew. I knew there was no treasure behind that door. Only the rotten floorboards that made us shut up the room 15 years ago. I used to argue with my husband about it. I used to say that we should have the floor repaired before someone fell through to the basement. But he was a strangely miserly man sometimes. Not nearly as generous as I am. Now drink your sherry, Walter.
Well, what can you say about an 18-year-old girl who dies? Or her 30-year-old lover, for that matter? Regretfully, this love story has ended with both the lovers gone, which ought to make it twice as popular as the movie. I'll be back shortly.
Who knows how to help you solve your shopping problems? The Better Business Bureau knows. Wednesday, 10 o'clock. I'm back at the office working on the case when my secretary brings me the mail. Thanks, kid. The usual stuff. Then I see it. It's addressed to me, resident. Inside, a fake rabbit's foot. The pitch, a $2 donation or send back the rabbit's foot. My problem, what to do about it. I'll help you with good advice from the Better Business Bureau. Oh, yeah? Spill it. If you receive unordered merchandise in the mail, you are under no obligation to return it or pay for it. Thanks, pal. You're okay. Just another consumer tip from your Better Business Bureau.
Snowden isn't the last victim you'll hear about on our Radio Mystery Theater. We intend to bring you the final dying screams of many, many more. That's a specialty of radio, of course. which explains why we give all our actors scream tests. Our cast included Carmen Matthews, Corinne Orr, Jack Grimes, and Sidney Smith. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
I know I'm no sort of expert, but can't you talk about your work with me?
There's a reason for it, Lisa. There's a reason.
Well, what?
I told you, my nightmares, they're all visions in black and gray and slashes of red.
Well, then if you won't talk about your paintings, why not tell me about your nightmares?
You wouldn't enjoy hearing about them. Or rather, about it.
It?
I've only one nightmare. Just one. I have it virtually every night. Sometimes it follows me into the daylight. I can close my eyes, and there it is. For years, I've tried to destroy it by painting it. Not its details, just its colors. But the therapy hasn't worked.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall, opening the door to another tale of mystery and suspense, inviting you to open your ears and your mind to the world of terrifying imagination. You're about to be taken on an unusual museum tour. There won't be any Mona Lisas on this tour, no Greek vases or Roman statuary, because this establishment specializes in only one kind of exhibit. And that's why our story is called The Murder Museum. You may have been to a murder museum like the one in our story, a house of wax, where the most brutal crimes of the century are recreated in paraffin for the wide-eyed enjoyment of the public. But now you're going to have the unique opportunity of hearing one of the most shocking exhibits of all speak for itself.
Oh, John, please believe me. He means nothing to me. I swear it.
And that's why he was in your bedroom, Ida? Is that why?
Please. Oh, think of our little boy. Look at Simpson. You're frightening him to death.
Death. That's right, Ida. Death.
Please.
That's what you deserve.
Our mystery drama, The Murder Museum, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Michael Wager. Our tale begins inside the Murder Museum itself, the home of Professor Raphael Gallinari's House of Horrors. There's a fair-sized crowd in the museum today. As usual, they listen in fascination to the words of their tour guide as he takes them from one bloody exhibit to another, recreating for them the terrible crimes which have immortalized these criminals and their victims. But there is one person in the crowd who seems reluctant to listen to his words, who hangs back and shields her pretty eyes from the sight of the wax images. Her name is Lisa Brandon.
To this day, no man knows the true identity of the madman known as Jack the Ripper. But the theory persists that he may well have been a physician or at least a medical student, Judging from the skill with which he wielded the instrument you see clutched in this hand as he attacked the terrified young woman. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the tour of Professor Gallinari's Murder Museum. Thank you for your patronage, and please tell your friends about us.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, miss?
Could I ask you a question?
Well, yes, of course.
I was curious about the Raymond exhibit, but I see that you haven't opened it to the public.
No, miss. The Raymond exhibit is still closed for repairs.
Well, the truth is, it's the only reason I came to the Murder Museum. I wanted to see the Raymond.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. The exhibit won't be open for another week at least. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going out for some coffee.
But even if it isn't completely ready, I wonder if you'd mind showing it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry, miss. I can't do that.
Well, I came a long way to see it, all the way from San Francisco. It would be a terrible disappointment. Look, I'm willing to pay you.
Now, please, put that money away, miss. Why is it so important for you to see the Raymond? You, any connection with the family?
Yes, in a way. I knew Vincent Raymond. I met him when he lived in San Francisco.
I see.
Look, you said you were going out for coffee. Could I come with you?
Well, sure. I just go to this little coffee shop down the street, but you're welcome to come along. So you knew Vincent Raymond. You an artist, too?
No, not really. But my brother owned a small art gallery on Green Street.
And sold Raymond's paintings?
Well, actually, no. He didn't really care for Vincent's work. It was so dark and gloomy. Frightening, really. But he felt sorry for him, and he loaned him some money, and sometimes he let him help out in the gallery.
And that's how you met him?
Yes, that's right. I came home from college, and I met Vincent. I didn't know anything about him.
Meaning, about his parents?
It took Vincent a long time before he was willing to talk to me about them. Vincent?
Yeah?
Isn't that music a little loud?
Sorry, I'll turn it down.
Are you angry with me or something?
No, why? Why should I be?
I don't know. You've hardly said 2 words to me tonight. All through dinner,
I was trying to digest that rotten food. Whoever told me that restaurant was worth trying must have had a secret death wish.
I didn't mind it.
Had only one thing to recommend it. It was cheap. That's the only criterion I have, you know?
I didn't complain, did I?
No, you never complain. You just suffer in silence. You think I'm some kind of gifted, starving artist who has to be tolerated for his poverty.
Oh, you're so hard on yourself, Vincent.
Well, let me tell you something, Lisa. I'm starving, but I'm not an artist.
Well, let's not talk about it tonight. Let's just relax.
You know I can't paint. Your brother knows it. I fill all my canvases with memories of my own nightmares, only you cannot call them art.
Vincent, why do you paint in such a gloomy style? I've never seen you paint with anything that had any color or lightness. All those blacks and grays and slashes of red. Oh, I know I'm no sort of expert, but can't you talk about your work with me?
There's a reason for it, Lisa. There's a reason.
Well, what?
I told you, my nightmares, they're all visions in black and gray and slashes of red.
Well, then if you won't talk about your paintings, why not tell me about your nightmares?
You wouldn't enjoy hearing about them. Or rather, about it.
It?
I have only one nightmare. Just one. I have it virtually every night. Sometimes it follows me into the daylight. I can close my eyes, and there it is. For years, I've tried to destroy it by painting it. Not its detail, just its colors. But the therapy hasn't worked.
Please tell me about it.
I've never told anyone before.
But why not?
I suppose I never met the person I wanted to confide it. Maybe now I have. But if I'm going to do that, This music has to stop. My mother's maiden name might mean nothing to you, but at one time, many years ago, it was famous among people who loved the theater. She was an actress. Her name was Ada Krim.
Ada Krim? I think I do know that name, Vincent.
She was born and raised in England. She was known as the beautiful Ada. She didn't have a very long acting career because she capped her success on the stage with an even more successful marriage. She became the bride of John Lloyd Raymond.
Your father?
Yes. My father. He was a wealthy man. My grandfather had left him heir to one of the largest glass manufacturing companies in the West. Mirrored glass was his specialty. It seemed very appropriate to have our house full of mirrors. Maybe that's how it all started, that problem.
What problem?
Well, you know the way mirrors are, Lisa. After a few years go by, they stop being kind. And when that happened to my mother, she had to do something about it. Something to prove that she was still the beautiful Ada. No matter what the mirrors were beginning to say.
And what did she do, Vincent?
She took lovers. Lovers are the best kind of mirrors for a bored rich woman.
Were you the only child?
Yeah. I was her only child. At first, I was a pampered little boy, one of her favorite playthings. Then she became bored with me, too. She stopped noticing that I was around. Maybe that's why she never made any attempts to hide her actions from me. She simply didn't know I was there.
Vincent, you saw these men?
I think I said enough.
So, you never found out what Vincent's dream was all about?
Not then, I didn't know.
But you could have guessed, I suppose, if you knew the history of Ada Krim and John Raymond.
Well, yes, I became curious enough to learn the history. I had a friend who worked in a newspaper, and she checked into the files and found the story for me, the whole terrible story. But I didn't tell Vincent that I knew about it. It was obvious that he didn't want anyone to know the truth. But one day it emerged.
How?
Well, it was a beautiful spring day, the first really warm day of the season, and Vincent and I went for a walk. Vincent, why don't we walk down to Ghirardelli Square? We could do some window shopping, maybe have some lunch.
Considering the state of my finances, we'd better window shop the restaurants, too.
Oh, no, I have money.
Good for you.
Are you going to be stubborn again?
I'm going to teach you a
I tell you what, Vincent, I'll buy myself some lunch if you want to split a hamburger.
Wait a minute, Lisa.
Fool around with me.
Get your hands off me!
You need a lesson on
Hey, you get away from her!
It's about time somebody...
Get away from her!
Help me,
Hey, you take your hands off her!
away from her!
Please, Vincent,
My wife.
I don't give a... Up it, Vincent, for God's sake! Vincent! Vincent!
I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I just went crazy.
Why? What made you do it, Vincent? You could have killed that man.
I couldn't stop myself when I saw what he was doing and what he was
But
going
they
to
were
do.
man and wife.
Yeah. Man and wife. So were my parents.
Was that the reason? Was it because you saw your mother and father quarrel?
Quarrel? You think that's all they did? Don't you know the truth yet?
Yes, Vincent, I do know. I didn't want to tell you before, but I know that your father murdered your mother.
And you know how he murdered her. My father came home early one night. A full day earlier than he was expected. He walked into my mother's bedroom, and that man was there. Might have killed him, too, but he was fast on his feet. We lived in a very old-fashioned house, Lisa. A quaint, old-fashioned Victorian manner. The kind that still had gas lamps on the wall. And fire axes. I I used to hear my father joking to his friends about the fire axe on the wall.
Vincent, don't talk about
When he
it.
saw my mother, he ripped the axe off the wall, and he used it.
Please.
You read about it, Lisa, but I saw it.
You what?
I was 6 years old, terrified 6-year-old, who came to find out what all the noise was about.
Oh, no.
I saw the whole thing happen from the first stroke of the axe to the final blow.
Oh.
Now you know what my nightmare is all about, all the blacks and grays and flashes of red.
Oh, you poor man.
All right. Now, I've told you the whole story, so maybe now you know why I can't see you again.
What?
Don't come near me again, do you hear me?
Vincent.
Don't come near me. Ever!
It's been said that the mind is like a haunted house, where the ghosts of the past rattle their chains and cry out their suffering. Of course, that's why we have our psychiatrists and psychoanalysts, and these days, even our exorcists. The house cleaners of the mind. But what will it take to free Vincent Raymond of his demons? Or can he ever be freed? We'll find out. And now, Act 2 of the Murder Museum. Lisa Brandon has come all the way from San Francisco to see the Raymond exhibit. But she seems to be having a hard time talking the museum guide into allowing her a private showing. However, she hasn't given up.
Yes. I was in love with Vincent Raymond, and I was terribly unhappy when he walked out of my life.
You mean you never saw him again?
Oh, yes, I saw him again, but things weren't the same between us. He was tormented by the memory of what he had seen, and it changed his life.
The dreams began in the orphanage. They began there and they never stopped. I woke up screaming in horror every time the dream came to me. I became an outcast, without friends, without sympathy.
Oh, Vincent, I'm so sorry.
That's when I realized that my only hope for any sort of life was keeping my secret.
But you're not a child now.
No, I'm older, Lisa, but nothing's changed for me. Oh, yeah. There's one thing that's changed.
Well, what's that?
I'm giving up my so-called art. I'm going to look for a job.
Well, I'm sorry, Vincent. Because I did think you had talent.
I've got to get some money to live on. My talent won't provide that.
Well, I thought you had some savings.
They're all gone after that lawsuit.
What lawsuit?
That man I beat up on the street. He sued me for damages. He won, of course. His wife stood up in court and verified that I'd beaten him up with no provocation at all. Nothing like a wife's loyalty, is there?
But, Vincent, why didn't you let me know? I would have been a witness for you.
Oh, it mattered.
Well, how are you living now?
Well, on the welfare rolls, of course. But don't worry about me.
Look, if I can lend you any money, it won't...
No. I have borrowed enough from you and your brother. I don't want any more money or sympathy. Just leave me alone, Lisa. Can't you get that through your head? Leave me alone.
He did find a job eventually, waiting on tables down at Fisherman's Wharf. He seemed to sink lower and lower every day. My brother and I tried to help him all we could, but he refused to take any more charity. I tried to sell his paintings by putting them in the window of our little gallery. But there was only one person who seemed interested in Vincent's gloomy efforts. Hello? May I help you?
Yes. I have been looking at the paintings in your window, trying to make out the artist's name.
Oh, his name is Raymond.
Raymond? Would that be Vincent Raymond, by any chance?
Oh, yes, it is. Did you like the work?
It's interesting. I'm an artist myself. But that sort of thing, all those dark colors, it doesn't really appeal to me.
Oh, I see.
However, I am interested in the artist. I wonder if you could tell me how to reach him. Is he a local resident?
Yes, he lives in San Francisco.
Hmm.
Would you mind telling me your name?
Oh, yes, of course. Here is my card.
Raphael Gallinari.
You might say that I am a portrait artist.
Oh, and is that why you want to meet Vincent? To paint his portrait?
Something like that. Now, will you help me?
All right. I'll tell you where you can reach him.
Who is it?
Raphael Gallinari.
Who?
Please open the door, Mr. Raymond.
What do you want?
May I speak to you for a few moments, Mr. Raymond?
I don't know you.
I thought perhaps the young lady in the art gallery might have mentioned my name to you.
What young lady? Oh, you mean Lisa?
May I come in, please? It's about a rather important matter.
Oh. All right, come in. What is it you want, Mr. What was that name again?
Gallinari. Please, my card.
What are you, some kind of bill collector?
No, Mr. Raymond. As a matter of fact, I'm an artist, like yourself.
Tough luck for you, Mr. Gallinari, if you're an artist like me. Take a look around. You see any canvases in this place?
I understand that you are working at a restaurant these days.
That's right. Listen, if it's my work you're interested in, they're all at the gallery.
Let me be honest with you, Mr. Raymond. It isn't your work I care about. It's mine.
Yours?
That is correct. You see, I am a portrait artist, a sculptor, actually.
So what?
This is how we differ in our talents. Yours is dependent on the quality of imagination, while mine is devoted to verisimilitude. If you would permit me, perhaps I can buy us both some dinner and we can talk about our art.
If you hadn't mentioned dinner, Mr. Gallinari, I would have said no.
You know how it is with an artist. You know how we become obsessed sometimes, obsessed with a certain idea, a certain passion for a subject.
No, Mr. Gallinari. I wouldn't know. I lost all my passion for art a long time ago.
But if you had the inspiration, if there was one thing you wanted to paint more than anything else in the world, believe me, the passion would come flooding back like the tide.
And do you have such a subject in mind?
Yes, I do. A subject which has haunted me for years, more years than I wish to count.
And this has something to do with me?
Everything to do with you. Will you have another glass of wine?
Sure, since you're buying.
You see, Mr. Raymond, I am contemplating a certain work, a sculptural project, and one which would be impossible without you.
How could that be?
In order to answer that question, I have to bring up a subject which may be painful to you.
A lot of subjects are painful to me, Mr. Gallinari.
This one, I think, has left the deepest wound.
Wait a minute.
Yes, Mr. Raymond. I mean your parents.
How do you know who I am? Did Lisa tell you?
Oh, no. No, I assure you, the young woman at the gallery said nothing at all to me about you.
And how did you know, Bit?
Because I've made it my business to find you. Believe me, it's taken a very long time. The last address I had for you was in the Midwest. Then I ran across one of your paintings in a traveling exhibit, the Moorland exhibit.
Yeah, that was the only show I've been in, and nothing sold.
I found out that you were in San Francisco from the proprietors of the exhibit. Finally, I saw your work in a little gallery on Green Street. Your style is unmistakable.
Rotten, but unmistakable.
Mr. Raymond, I remember the beautiful Ada.
Go on.
I'm quite a few years older than you. I have a very clear memory of how your mother looked on the stage before her retirement. I thought then that she was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen.
Beauty is very fleeting, Mr. Gallinari. Like life itself.
Yes, I know that. But then, that's why artists are born, aren't they? To capture that fleeting beauty and imprison it on canvas or in clay or in what? Or in other media.
Why don't you get to the point, Mr. Gallinari?
Your mother's beauty is the point. If I had been the sculptor then that I am now, I would have carved her image then. But alas, I was only a boy.
I still don't know what you want from me.
I want to sculpt your mother's image, Mr. Raymond. But there is only one drawback. I have no model to work from.
There's nothing I can do about that. My mother's been for 25 years.
I know there are some faded old newspaper photographs of her, but they're not really helpful, not to someone who insists on verisimilitude.
I don't see why it's so important. Who cares what Ada Krim looked like?
But I care. Very much. You see, I've already started the project.
You have?
Yes. I've been using the crude photographs of her as a guide. I have obtained a sort of likeness.
Look, I cannot stop you from doing what you please, Mr. Gallinari. If you're asking for my permission...
Well, in a way, yes, I suppose I am. It does seem like a slight invasion of privacy.
Yeah. All right. If your conscience bothers you, I'll tell you what you can do. You can order another bottle of wine.
Mr. Raymond, I would gladly order you a case if you would give me one more permission.
What's that?
To sculpt your father, too.
My father?
As I said, this is a form of obsession with me. But from the moment I began work on the statue of Ada Krim, I felt that I couldn't stop until I had also done the head of John Lloyd Raymond.
He's Mr. Gallinari. I have no way to prevent you from sculpting him or painting him or anything else. But I'll tell you one thing. You won't get me to talk about him.
Oh, no. I would not dream of it. But you see, I have a peculiar problem. While there are some likenesses of Ada Krim available, in the case of your father, well, I cannot find a single photograph. I have searched and come to an end. And what I was wondering, I know this is an imposition, if there is something in your possession...
You think I have a picture of him?
It was only a hope. I know his memory is painful, but you were his son, and sometimes, well, there are souvenirs one hates to discard. Well, Mr. Raymond?
I have pictures of him.
You do?
I won't give them to you.
Please, don't be so hasty.
I won't give them to you. But I'll sell them to you.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm perfectly willing to pay.
I owe Lisa Brandon and her brother exactly $127. That's the price.
Done, Mr. Raymond. $127. And I'll still throw in that case of wine.
Vincent told me about Mr. Gallinari's visit when he paid me back the money that we'd loaned him. He didn't really care about those photographs he had. He was happy to have gotten rid of the debt. But there was only one thing wrong. I think you must know what I mean.
Yes, I think I do. Raphael Gallinari didn't tell Vincent Raymond the whole truth.
No, he didn't tell him the truth. He didn't tell him what kind of a sculptor he was, or what use he would make of his work after it was completed.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't tell him the medium he would use to carve the statues.
No. He didn't tell him that the medium would be wax.
And that the subject would be murder.
And what happened when Vincent Raymond learned of the duplicity of Raphael Gallinari? Or was it really duplicity? Gallinari said he was a sculptor. Gallinari said he believed in authenticity. And of course, Gallinari paid for the privilege of using Vincent's photographs as a model. But has Gallinari paid enough? And now, here's Act 3 of the Murder Museum. For Vincent Raymond, all nights are the same. A dark passage into yesterday. A grim return trip to the past. But men must sleep, and sleepers must dream. So there's no escape for him.
Ada! John, please believe me.
Ada!
He means nothing to me, I swear it.
And that's why he was in your bedroom, Ada?
Please.
Is that why?
Please, think of our little boy.
Ada!
Look at Vincent, you're frightening him to death.
Death! That's right, Ada. Death! That's what you deserve! Ada! That's what you deserve!
Oh, dear God. When will it stop? When will that dream stop? Who is it?
It's me, Vincent. It's Lisa.
Lisa? Oh, wait a minute. Hey, what is it? What are you doing here so early?
I just couldn't wait. I've got wonderful news for you, Vincent.
What about?
Your painting, the large one in the window, it's been sold.
Sold? You're joking. Who would buy it?
Oh, please, let me come in.
All right. Just let me get a robe on.
It happened. First thing this morning, the gallery wasn't open more than 10 minutes, and this man walked in wearing a Homburg, Vincent. I didn't think people wore Homburgs anymore. He did.
Well, who was he? What was his
Well, he
name?
gave me a card. Oh, wait a minute. It's right here. I've got it in my purse.
It wasn't someone named Gallinari, was it?
What?
Raphael Gallinari calls himself a sculptor?
No. Oh, no, it wasn't him. It's, wait, his name is, here it is, Charles Mulholland. Does that mean anything?
Mulholland? That's Mulholland Gallery in Chicago. High priced. Oh, no, I doubt if there's any connection.
Well, anyway, he bought it, Vincent, without any quibble about the price, and in fact, he was surprised that it was so low.
Miracles never cease, do they?
Oh, Vincent, if he really is somebody, then maybe your work will start to be recognized.
Oh, forget it, Lisa. There isn't any more work for me. Just waiting on tables. That's my art. And I'm getting better at it all the time.
Well, anyway, here's your money. It's all in $50 bills.
Wait now. That's the full $300. What about the gallery's commission?
Oh, don't be technical, Vincent. You need the money more than we need the commission.
No, sirree. You've got to accept 1/3 of it.
All right.
It wouldn't be fair otherwise.
I knew you'd feel that way.
I can't believe it. It's the first painting I've sold, Lisa. Do you realize that?
I told you you had talent. That'll teach you to listen to me.
You're right. I should always listen to you, Lisa.
Oh,
Listen, I've got an idea. Have you had breakfast yet?
Well, I had coffee.
Tell you what. I'm going to get dressed, and we'll go celebrate with champagne and eggs Benedict. And then we're going out tonight. I'm going to buy you the fanciest dinner in San Francisco.
Well, Vincent, you can't spend all the money in one day.
Why not? It's probably the first and last money I'll ever make for my paintings. Let's put it to good use.
Well, it seems that Vincent had more talent than anyone realized. Those dark and gloomy paintings seemed to have the qualities of genius. At least, that's what Mr. Mulholland said in his letter.
Lisa, listen to this. Just listen to this.
Go on, I'm
He says,
listening.
the Mulholland Gallery would be most interested in arranging an exhibition of your work.
Oh.
Listen, they're willing to pay all the cost of carding and insuring the paintings. They'll even pay my fare and expenses to Chicago so I can attend the opening. Lisa, can you believe it?
Oh, Vincent, it's the most wonderful thing I ever heard.
Well, it's not a one-man show, nothing that grand, but the Mulholland Gallery. That's one of the best, Lisa, one of the most prestigious.
Do you know when you'll be leaving?
As soon as I can get all the stuff crated and shipped. I guess the sooner the better. Lisa, why don't you come with me?
Oh, I couldn't do that. I still have to be at the
Your
gallery.
brother can take care of it for a week or so. That's all the time it'll take.
Oh, I just couldn't do it, Vincent. But when you have that big one-man show, I promise to be there.
And that was when Vincent Raymond went to Chicago.
Yes, that was his reason for going there. A very happy reason.
Was the show a success?
Oh, it was. The press reception to Vincent's work was very good, far better than the evaluation he received back home. I guess it's true what they say about a prophet being without honor in his own country. In this case, in his own state. There were 12 paintings in all the exhibit, and at least half of them were sold in the first week. And for the first time, Vincent was a happy man. He sent me just one letter, and it contained a very good piece of news. Perhaps even more important than the news of his artistic success.
Dear Lisa, just a quick note to tell you that I'm well and spending money like a drunken sailor. I've bought 2 new suits. Yes, I said suits with matching pants and jacket, believe it or not. But more important, I'll tell you one other thing that seems to have happened to me. For the last 3 nights, I've slept without a dream. I think you must realize the importance of that, Lisa. 3 nights of dreamless sleep. The most precious 3 nights of my existence.
But those dreamless nights didn't last very long. Because the very next morning at breakfast in his hotel room, Vincent opened the local paper and saw a strangely familiar name.
Gallinari. Gallinari? What's that all about? Announcing the opening of Gallinari's Murder Museum. Oh, no. That can't be the same man. The Murder Museum, world's most terrifying house of wax, vivid recreation scenes of crime, passion, and horror never before witnessed. Oh, it can't be the same man. It can't be. Where's that phone number? Oh. Hello. Is this the Murder Museum? Yes, I know you're not open yet. Listen, I want to ask you a question. This man, Gallinari, I want to know his first name. Raphael. And he is. Listen, what time are you open? No earlier than that? Then tell me where I can find Mr. Gallinari. Yes, it's important. No, my name does not matter. All right. First show, 2 o'clock. Oh, dear God, don't let it be true.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, you see the notorious mass murderer of Huntersville, Nebraska, who not only dispatched his victims with poison, but then mutilated their bodies in the dreadful fashion you see before you. And now, if you'll step to the next exhibit, you will see the latest addition to Professor Gallinari's world-famous murder museum. For the first time in any house of wax, the horrifying axe murder of one of the most glamorous women ever to appear upon the American stage.
It's true.
They called her the beautiful Ada. And yes, Ada was beautiful as she was faithless. And one day, her wealthy manufacturer husband, John Lloyd Raymond, returned home from a business
I've
trip.
got to ask you something.
Excuse me, sir, but I'm still not through with this.
Where is he? Does he have an office at this museum?
Well, now, please,
Look,
sir,
I've got to see him. Make him remove this abomination.
Well, no, his office is in the rear. I don't know if he's...
Out of my way!
Now, just here. Come back here.
Who is this?
Open up, Gallinari. Open the door.
Yes, what is it?
Let me in. I have to talk to you.
I'm sorry. I'm quite busy at the moment, and Raymond? Is that you?
Yes, Vincent Raymond.
What are you doing in Chicago?
The question is, what have you done?
Now, be calm, young man. There is nothing to get so excited about.
That's your art out there, Gallinari, out there. That's the verisimilitude you were talking about?
Yes, that's right. I tried to be faithful to the original. I'm not ashamed.
You liar, you thief!
Now, come. I've stolen nothing. I've imitated life, but stolen nothing. Now, please, sit down. Calm yourself. Let me offer you a drink.
You lied to me. You pretended to be something you weren't. You never told me you were going to create that horror out there.
I told you only the truth. That I wish to do a sculpture of your mother and father. I only neglected to tell you the medium. Some artists work with clay and marble. I chose wax. Is that so wrong?
You know it's wrong. You made a public spectacle out of it. And now you're going to do something about it. You're going to get rid of that thing out there.
I am afraid that's impossible. The exhibit took months to create. They all do. The investment in time and money.
I'll sue you. I will make you destroy it.
Ah, Mr. Raymond, don't make unnecessary problems for yourself. Murder is in the public domain.
There has to be some way to make you tear it down, and I will. I swear it. I won't let that thing stand.
Of course, I know myself what happened next. Because I was there in the murder museum. The night that your friend Vincent Raymond returned.
Oh, please. Can you tell me about it? I never did know the details.
Well, from what I understand, he went to a lawyer the very next day to see if there was some legal means to get Gallinari to destroy the exhibit. He must have gotten some idea how difficult it would be to get an injunction against the museum. Because that's when he decided that the only recourse was to destroy the sculpture itself.
Yes, that would be like Vincent.
And what he did was very simple. He came back to the museum for the last show of the day. But during the tour, he slipped away from the crowd and hid behind one of the curtains until everyone had gone. And then he walked up to the exhibit and stopped in front of it. Of course, the instrument he needed to destroy the exhibit was already there. The fire axe was real, like the clothes of the wax figures and the furnishings of the room. All he had to do was take the axe out of the hands of his father's statue, and that's what he did.
Destroy. Be destroyed.
I saw him standing there as still as the wax figures themselves. And I froze in the doorway, too, afraid to move. Because I saw his eyes. And I was afraid to become a victim, too. And then I heard him sobbing.
You shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it.
I saw him turn the axe toward the figure of his father. But then a strange thing happened. He began to shake from head to foot. He seemed unable to bring the axe down on the figure of John Lloyd Wayne.
No! No, it wasn't your fault. It was hers. Hers!
And suddenly he turned around and brought the axe down on the wax figure of his mother.
You're the one who did it. You did it.
That was when Professor Gallinari himself came out of his office.
Stop it! Stop it!
Raymond dropped the axe. The destruction of the wax figure complete. But Gallinari was infuriated and threw his arms around his throat. Raymond struggled with him. They fell in a heap to the floor.
Stop it. Don't say any more, please. I'm sorry. I just can't bear to hear any more.
Does that mean that you don't want to see the Raymond exhibit now?
No, I still want to see it. But I'm taking the next flight back to San Francisco, so I suppose there's no use.
Well, I guess it's only fair that I show it to you, Miss Brandon, since you came all this way. We keep the curtain closed whenever we're fixing up an exhibit or preparing to show something new.
This is really very kind of you.
Oh, that's all right. I just hope that you don't find the exhibit too depressing.
Is it a very good likeness?
Yes, I think it's very good. But judge for yourself. As you can see, the figures are all ready, but the furnishings need some work still. Well, what do you think?
It's horrible. Horrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't say that. I did ask you to show it to me.
Yes, I was afraid you'd feel that way, miss. Because the likeness is really very good. It was Gallinari's brother who did the statue of the professor. Naturally, he'd get that right.
But that's Vincent, too.
Yes.
Just like him.
It's a very good likeness of Vincent Raymond. That's just how he looked when he strangled the life out of Professor Gallinari. Right here in the Murder Museum.
If you are contemplating a visit to a wax museum, we pass on this advice to you. 1, don't go during a heat wave. 2, make sure that you can stand the sight of wax. And 3, be certain you don't have any murderous ancestors who just might show up in one of the exhibits. We hope you enjoyed tonight's tour through the Murder Museum. We hope that you'll always come back through the creaking door of the Radio Mystery Theater, because it's the one place you can enter where your imagination provides the real thrills. Tonight, we tried to aid that imagination with the voices of Michael Wager, Marion Seldes, Robert Dryden, and Leon Janney. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
The preceding Mystery Theater program was furnished by the CBS Radio Network.
He invites you to relive again the story of another real-life crime fighter on Gangbusters. That's tomorrow night at the same time on KRLD. The News Authority, KRLD, Dallas.
Two major fires at this hour, one near downtown Grand Junction.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to the fear you can hear. Welcome to the world of your own terrifying imagination. All of us daydream. It seems a harmless enough way of passing the time. But what might we do if some of the things that pass through our minds come true? Supposing the man or the woman we created in the mind's eye became reality. The phantom became flesh and blood. Our puzzling, nerve-tingling tale begins as it ends, with sudden, irrevocable death.
Hello?
Isabel, it's Sky.
Sky, I've been worried sick. Where have you been? Where are you?
At the apartment.
I've been calling and calling. The phone must be out of order.
I took it off the hook.
Are you with her again?
There isn't any her anymore. Deirdre's dead. Whoever she was. Whatever she was.
What do you mean?
She was a witch, Isabel. There was no other way. I had to kill her.
You what? Oh, Scar.
Honey, there's a letter on the desk. I've tried to explain. And there are letters for the kids. Forgive me. Goodbye.
Sky! No, Sky! Sky, don't hang up! Sky! Oh, good Lord. Oh, no.
Our mystery drama, Out of Focus, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars William Redfield. It is sponsored in part by new sugar-free Diet 7-Up and by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
Hi, I'm Goldilocks, Ms. Goldilocks, if you please, and I'm a professional taste tester. Here at my taste test laboratory, that's TTL for short, I taste test everything from porridge to diet drinks. Actually, there's not that much taste testing in porridge these days. There used to be. Once upon a time. I mean, that's how this Ms. got into the biz. But lately it's been diet drinks. I mean, with so many diet drinks going sugar-free, I've been really busy conducting taste tests. A rather unbearable assignment, to be sure. But then I discovered sugar-free Diet 7-Up. Fresh, natural, delicious. My only problem is that sugar-free Diet 7-Up tastes so good that it broke my Goldilocks diet drink taste-o-meter. Well, sugar-free Diet 7-Up certainly has my seal of approval. This one's just right.
When you're in Los Angeles, stay at the dazzling new Los Angeles Marriott Hotel. Because no matter where you travel, a Marriott Hotel always means a marvelous time. And the exciting new Los Angeles Marriott is exactly what we're talking about. With 7 superb restaurants and lounges, a sensational swim-up bar in our big, beautiful pool, and the new Los Angeles Marriott is only minutes away from L.A. International Airport, a great location, the center of everything in Southern California.
Live life as it should be. Live like living said to be. And come to a
For reservations, ask the toll-free information operator for Marriott's nationwide 800 number.
You are Schuyler Harris, Sky to your friends, a typical commuter, an account executive at Lorne, Peabody & Davis. Married 18 years, 2 children, Gary 16 and Lisa 12. $35,000 a year and an expense account. You live up to every penny. You are bored at home, driven at the office, given to fantasizing about women because you don't have the courage to take a mistress. But you are to find one, and such a one, who will quite literally be the death of you.
What do you got here, Jake? It's a DOA, Sam. Cold turkey.
Mm-hmm. It's like the woman on the phone said. Where's the other?
The dame?
Yeah.
Search me, not in here.
It's probably the bedroom. Check out the rest of the apartment, huh?
There's a letter Or a confession or something on the desk.
Yeah, I see it. Dear Isabel, I have just killed Deirdre. And before I kill myself, I want to explain, or try to explain why. It started 10 days ago. It doesn't seem possible that in so short a time my whole life was ripped to shreds. It was such an ordinary day, climbing aboard the old 737, just like thousands of others.
Why make fourth this morning, Sky, if Ed isn't on?
Oh, no thanks, Charlie. I'm bushed. I'm going to catch a nap on the way in.
Hey, you do look a little frazzled. Everything okay?
Oh, my health's all right, as far as I know. Oh, it's just the rat race, I guess. It's getting to me.
Maybe it's a male change of life, Sky.
No, not yet. Please, God. Oh, Lord, that I could do with a little change of life, you know.
Well, leave you to get on with it. At least you got the whole seat to yourself in case the action gets rough.
Oh, thanks.
Sweet dreams, lover boy.
Oh, go trump your partner's ace.
All tickets, please. Have your tickets ready, please. Morning, Mr. Harris.
Oh, hi, Benji. Hang on to it. It's the last ride left on the ticket.
Tough night, Mr. Harris?
Oh, they're all tough these days, Benji. I'll see you at the end of the line, okay?
You don't mind my joining me?
What? Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry. I thought I was alone in the seat.
You don't mind, do you?
Mind? What man in his right mind would?
I'm glad you find me pleasing.
What?
Don't look so surprised. I'm just what you've been waiting for. Am I not?
Mr. Harris? Wake up, Mr. Harris. We're in the terminal.
Huh? What is... Benji, what is it?
Everyone out, sir. End of the line.
But I was just... Wait a minute. I fell asleep? What happened to the girl that was sitting beside me?
What girl, Mr. Harris?
Oh, Benji, she was sort of a tall, dark-haired, deep violet black eyes like Elizabeth Taylor, long legs that... Well, I mean, if you saw her, you could never forget her.
Sorry, sir. I passed you a couple of times, and the seat beside you was always empty.
What? Oh, Benji, come on. You're sure there wasn't a girl?
I didn't see her. Maybe you dreamed her.
Maybe. Well, there's no doubt about it. She was a perfect dream. Yes, Doris? Harry? Oh, sure. Send him right in.
Sky, have I got news for you? Hold on to your hat.
What?
I just came from a session with the Kingpin.
Oh, so what does Boss Man Peabody have up his sleeve this morning?
The brass ring for you, Sky, and I go along for the ride. The Bianchi account.
Bianchi?
It's all yours, baby. All you have to do is come up with a campaign.
That's $10 million in billing.
Biggest new account in the shop. The plum.
Yeah.
Now, if you pull it off, it's the VP rating we're all bucking for.
Yeah, and if I blow it, I'll be on the unemployment line.
No, not you, Sky. That's why the Kingpin picked you. Now, you better go right on up. He wants to see you to kick a couple of ideas around.
You know something, Harry?
What?
You either cured my headache or arranged I'll never have one again.
What does that mean?
The Bianchi account. If I don't cut it, I won't have to worry about headaches anymore. Old Kingpin Peabody will hand me my head in a basket. Hey, Mario.
Yes, Mr. Harris.
Once again, not too lightly for Mr. Lipscomb and me, okay?
Right.
You don't want to miss your train, Sky.
Oh, you don't know how often I want to, but not tonight.
What's the big deal tonight? You and Isabel socializing?
No. For once, it's the train I'm interested in.
Oh, well, that's a switch. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Mario. Well, what's so special about tonight's commute?
I won't know until I prowl all the trains. I'll be looking for something.
Do me a favor, Sky. Now, I'm only a poor working photo stiff. And you're the idea man. Look for an idea for Bianchi.
But I already have it. Genius. What? Could you picture a girl like this? Great violet gentian eyes framed with black lashes, natural, at least a half-inch long. Cream white skin, full lips, deep carmine to match the cheek blush. A mass of blue-black hair to frame the face. A figure full but gorgeously shaped. Long tapering legs with ankles that lead to high-arched feet. Picture her in semi-décolletage, a hint of cleavage, and the promise of all sex. And underneath that caption, Bianchi. If you have it, you don't need anything else. And if you don't have it, it doesn't much matter what else you have.
Now all we got to do is find the babe.
Harry, I already found her. The trick is just how I find her again. Oh, holy cow. I got to make the first train. Put this tab on the national debt, Mario. Harry, you can pop for the tip, will you? I got a date with an angel. I hope.
Something I can help you with, Mr. Harris?
Huh? Oh, no, Benji. I was just looking for someone.
Yeah, I figured. You've been from one end of the train to the other. Anyone I know?
No, just a girl.
The one you asked me about on the way in this morning?
Yes, I've got to find her.
Well, if she's anything like you described, I wouldn't blame you.
You know, Benji, you better find me a seat now. I'm still a little stoned.
Well, take my spot, Mr. Harris. I'll put my work case up on the rack.
Oh, thanks.
Stretch out, make yourself comfortable. I'll wake you before you get to your stuff.
Oh, you're a scholar, a gentleman, and a fine conductor, Benji.
Wake up, Skylar.
Huh?
It isn't very flattering to have you always falling asleep on me.
What's that? Oh, you're real.
This time I've been waiting for you.
But I hunted the whole train for you.
Did you? You shouldn't have worried, Skylar. I wasn't going to let you get away.
How do you know my name?
If I want information, I just ask questions. Skylar Harris.
Well, how do I do with the same question?
The name is Deirdre.
Lovely. Provoking, sensuous, a little incomplete, perhaps. No surname?
Do you really care?
Well, it would be necessary eventually just to satisfy the accountants, you know. Social Security and Uncle Sam.
Dear me, does everyone have to know all about us?
Well, maybe I didn't make it clear. See, I have a proposition to make to you.
Oh, yes. I thought perhaps you might.
No. Don't misunderstand me. See, I'm an advertising executive.
Yes, I know all about you, Skylar.
No, I mean, there's this account. Bianchi Cosmetics.
Oh, yes.
Deirdre, I guess I may call you that?
I want you to.
Oh, I have no idea who you are or what you are, but would you be interested in this?
Skylar.
No, look, honestly, I mean, this is strictly a business arrangement. I have a campaign in mind using you as the central figure.
I don't know what you want to call it, Skylar, but as far as we're concerned, there needn't be any embarrassment or cover-ups. Don't we both know what we really want?
Now, come on, Deirdre. Don't put me on.
I'm not. You're the one who turned me on, Skylar.
Now, look, Deirdre, whatever your other name is, I am honest to God leveling about this big ad campaign and how perfect you are for it and how much money you could make if it all goes the way I think it could.
If you insist, Skylar. Anything. But if we have to talk about something other than ourselves, would you mind getting me a drink?
Oh, sure. I could use one myself. What'll it be?
It doesn't matter. You pick it. Just hurry back.
Oh, don't worry. Just don't vanish.
Westfield. Next stop, Westfield. Hey, Mr. Harris. Coming into Westfield.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm with you, Benji. I'm with you. Thanks.
Westfield is the next stop. Westfield.
Benji?
Yes, Mr. Harris.
What happened to the girl?
We back at that again?
Oh, no. Now, come on, Benji. This time it's no dream. I've been talking to her all the way up the line.
What do you want me to say, Mr. Harris?
Well, I want to know where the girl went.
Mr. Harris, we've been riding this line a long time together. You don't want to make no scene.
Benji, all I'm asking you
I
is what...
get the message. So what do you want me to say? If there was this girl, maybe she got off at the last stop or the one before.
But she couldn't have.
Mr. Harris, you've been cold turkey the last 10 miles. Now, maybe this girl was here, I don't know, or maybe you just had one too many. Excuse me, we're coming into the station. This is where you get off.
A man who doesn't realize how near the end of his emotional rope he is. A girl named Deirdre, who promises desire as sensually as a centerfold in today's magazines. A suburban family who awaits the return of the husband and father as routine. And the disaster we know is to happen. We'll start to fit the pieces of the jigsaw together when I return shortly with Act 2.
Ever see a beer drinker pour his beer real easy down the side of the glass? Maybe you do it yourself. If so, the Budweiser brewmaster thinks you're missing something, especially if you're a Budweiser drinker. You see, Bud is brewed, so it will kick up a healthy head of foam. Exclusive beechwood aging and natural carbonation make it a lively brew. Well, anyway, pouring Bud plunk down the middle of the glass helps bring out the best in that clean white Budweiser foam and real beer aroma. It also helps you get the full benefit of a taste, smoothness, and drinkability you'll find in no other beer at any price. Remember, brewing beer right does make a difference. Next time, pour that Budweiser right down the middle and see for yourself. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
When occasional heartburn or acid indigestion is combined with a gassy, foolish feeling, that's what we call gassed indigestion. Digel is made for gassed indigestion because Digel is different. It does more than plain add acids. Digel reduces excess acid while its patented simethicone gets rid of trapped gas fast. Use only as directed. Digel for gassed indigestion. No plain add acid can do what Digel can.
Of all the leading laxatives, only one, Phenamint, is a gentle chewing gum laxative.
And for a very good reason. It's pleasant to take. Phenamint goes into your system gradually, little by little. And after Phenamint has entered your system, it begins to work gently, predictably, to relieve occasional irregularity.
Phenamint, the gentle chewing gum laxative.
Like all medicines, take only as directed.
One of the minor sad comedies of the world is the faces of the wives as they meet their returning commuter husbands. As the trains get later and later, the faces get tenser and tenser, till finally, as the last commuter train pulls in and Aaron Hubby pours himself off, the wife's eyes roll helplessly heavenwards.
Hi, Isabel, baby. How was your day?
My day was miserable, and most of my night was worse.
Really? What do you mean, night?
Well, it's just about half over. Do you know you're well over 2 hours late? This is the 4th train I've met. The least you might have done is call.
Well, honey, look, I'm sorry. It was a big day at the office. I was swamped, and on top of that...
Oh, don't give me that, Sky. When you weren't on the early train, I called the office, and they told me you left in plenty of time to catch it.
Well, that's right. I know I did. But look, it's big news, hon. I got handed the plum of my career today. The Bianchi account.
So, is that any reason to go out and get stoned?
Oh, have a heart, Isabel. I handle this right. I'll end up a VP.
Well, you handle it the way you started off, and you're going to end up PNG at home.
Well, now, what does that mean?
Persona non grata. Somebody not wanted.
No. I know what persona non grata means. Well, what do you mean about me not being wanted?
Well, you've already got 2 out of 3 of us feeling that way right at the moment.
Okay. You and who else?
Gary. Obviously, you've forgotten you promised to be home early while there was still enough light to give him a driving lesson.
Oh, So that's such a big deal? Everybody has to snap their corks? I mean...
It is when the driving lesson was to be on the way to the basketball team's father and son dinner, which you promised to attend with him.
Oh, damn, Isabel, I forgot. You see, I was so up to my ears that it just...
You couldn't have been so far up. You couldn't put a phone to one of them and let us know.
Well, I told you, Isabel, I forgot.
Now, you're not going to tell me that you also forgot you have a wife who meets you at the station 6 nights a week these days.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I mean, honest to Pete, Isabel, I've had a lousy day. All right. I'm sorry, Isabel.
So am I, Sky. About you, I mean. It's just...
Just what?
Sky, I've been worried about you lately. I guess I'm tense because you're tense.
Well, who's tense?
Come off it. I'm not the only one who's noticed it. Even Liza's worried about you.
Oh, now what have I done to her?
It isn't so much what you've done as what you haven't. You've been neglecting a daughter who needs her father very much.
Why?
She's 12 years old. You're a big man in her life.
Okay, Isabel, okay, can we knock it off for now? I just don't want to go into the house bickering.
Neither do I, Sky. Especially not in front of the kids.
Okay. Truths, huh? And before we go in, apology?
Accepted.
Oh, I guess I have been off my feet, honey. It's overwork, you know?
Well, I hope that's all.
What else?
Well, it's silly of me, I suppose, but it isn't another woman, is it, Sky?
Oh, of course not, Isabel. Now, come on. Let's get inside. I need a drink. Chrysler Model Agency? Yeah, this is Scarlett Harris here. Put me through to Irene. Yeah, that's all right. I'll hold. Doris, while I'm on one, call IFW and hold them on two. I want to talk to Ed Rashby, okay? Hello, Irene. It's Sky. Yeah, fine. Well, I'm looking for a girl. First name Deirdre. I don't know the second. She is a natural for the Bianchi account, and I've just got to find her. Well, Harry, it's hard to believe anyone this beautiful can't be a model or in TV or the theater or somewhere. No, I'm the only one that's seen her. Yeah, I've checked out all the talent books, and I have every agency in the business pulling pictures of their clients. Well, you're last on the line, Harry, only because I couldn't get through to you sooner. Are those the Maurice Williams pics, Harry?
Yeah, I just came by special messenger.
No luck yet? Nope, not yet. Okay, let me see him.
Here, now, just look at all these dames. And now, any one of them I can make something out of this world.
Yeah.
Now, why this special one? Huh?
Because she is out of this world to start with.
Well, then I gotta see. Now, what's she got that this little number hasn't got?
Well, you'd have to see Deirdre to understand.
Oh, it's a name for you.
That's right, it suits her. Keep your fingers crossed. I'm almost through these.
Well, suppose you don't find her.
I've got to find her.
Look, it's been nearly a week, Sky. The kingpin is getting restless.
Huh? What?
I said Mr. Peabody's hollering for some layouts. At least the kind of campaign you're planning.
Oh.
Didn't find her, huh?
No.
Well, maybe she's not a model.
Maybe. I've still got to find her.
You don't even know she exists.
Now, don't be silly, Harry. She couldn't just vanish into thin air.
Sky.
What?
Sky, look, I just don't want you to take this wrong.
Now, come on, Harry. Get it out.
Okay. Now, you've been running off the tracks quite a bit for the last few months. You don't look so hot. You've been no ball of fire around the shop. You've been hitting the sauce pretty heavy, and now this screwball bit about this Deirdre dame. Now, I think you ought to have a little skull session with your local friendly shrink.
I got 2 words for you, Harry. Butt out.
Okay, only friendly advice.
I don't need it. On second thought, I'll butt out. I need a drink and some space to think. Hey, Mario.
Yes, Mr. Harris.
Build me another Manhattan, huh?
Coming right up.
Good. Boy, shoot deer in here today.
It's a breather. The late lunch is blue finally, and the other drinkers don't come in for the next hour or so.
Oh, I see. All right.
sure you want to be alone, Sky?
Deirdre.
Mind if I sit on the stool next to you?
Mine? Oh, I've been going out of my mind trying to find you. Where do you keep disappearing to?
I'm a very private person, Sky. With me, 2 is more than enough company. I hate crowds.
Well, this time, I'm not letting you go. How about a drink?
Well, does it have to be here?
No, name the place.
How about yours?
Mine? Oh, you mean the office?
No, I don't like offices either.
I have a studio apartment.
Well, then can't we go there?
Well, we sure can. Just let me settle my tab. Mario. Now, where did he go?
If you mean the bartender, I heard a phone ring. I think he went to answer it around the corner there.
Don't you move now. We'll go right away.
How far are we going, Sky?
Oh, you mean the address. 825 East 50th. I'll be right back. Hey, Mario.
I was just coming to get you. It's your office.
Well, I can't talk to him now. Here.
Well, they said it was urgent.
Oh, damn. Now, look, Mario, there's a girl sitting on the stool next to where I was around the corner. Don't let her get out of here. Don't let her get away.
I'll handle it, Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Mario. Hello? Oh, hello, Doris. When? Well, I can't call now. What did my wife say was wrong? She didn't. Well, look, call her back and tell her she can reach me at the apartment. I should be there within 10 or 15 minutes. But, yeah, I got to rush now. Oh, what now? Well, Isabel, we'll just have to... Mario, the girl. Why did you let her...
Sorry, Mr. Harris. When I came around, there was no one here.
Oh, no. No, she can't get away again. Deirdre, can't tell you what a lift I got when I found you waiting at the door.
I'm glad, Skylar.
Well, what did you run out of the bar for?
I told you. I don't like crowds.
I almost had heart failure thinking I'd lost you again.
Oh, you'll never lose me. Take my coat.
Oh, sure.
Get me a drink.
What's your poison? Oh, heck.
You get that. I'll mix my own poison.
Hello?
Sky, why didn't you call me right back?
Isabel, I was busy.
At a bar?
Now, honey, you know how much of our business is... well, never mind that. What is it?
Well, at the time, I wanted you to talk to Gary. All of a sudden, just before I called, he threw a kind of fit. I don't know how to describe it. He just yelled at me like he was another person. Yelled something about being tired of being a kid and ran out of the house.
Look, Isabel, please, I'm very busy now, and
It's the worst, Sky. While I was trying to get you, he took the car and drove off.
Oh, well, unless you gassed it up, he can't get very far, and he's a pretty good driver anyway.
And he doesn't have a license.
Well, what do you want to do, call the police? He's an all right kid, and he'll be right back. Now, Isabel, please stop worrying. And stop worrying me, will you? I have urgent business to attend to.
At the apartment?
Yes, at the apartment. Now, let me get on with it.
Apron strings?
Oh, no, my wife's just a little upset over one of the kids.
I hope she's not going to keep calling back and interrupting our business.
Well, there's one sure way of taking care of that. Just leave it off the hook.
Let's get away from that ugly noise.
Okay.
What's in here?
The bedroom.
Oh. This is nice. And comfy. Skylar.
What, Deirdre?
Aren't you coming in?
Well, it'd be a little easier for me to keep my mind on business out here. Besides, you never mixed that drink.
I decided on headier wine. There. No. Isn't this what you really want from me?
Huh? Oh, no. What the devil is...
You'd better go see before he wakes up the whole building.
Oh, I was sound asleep. All right, I won't be a second. Who is it? What is it?
Open the door, Scotty. It's Harry.
Well, take the chain off and let me in. Harry, what do you want?
Oh, that way, huh? Well, I should have figured. Well, you better ditch her fast and get on home. Isabella's frantic. She's been trying to reach you all evening, and she finally got in touch with me.
What is it?
Your boy, Gary. He's had an accident with the car. It's a concussion. I don't know how bad. Now, I've got a cab waiting. If you only get...
No, Harry, look. I've got to get dressed. Thanks.
For nothing. Now, you make sure you get rid of that chick and get home where you belong.
Okay, Harry. Oh, Deirdre, I didn't know you were standing there. You heard?
I know. Home.
What about you? We haven't even talked about... Deirdre, I can't lose you again.
I promised you wouldn't. I'll be waiting. It doesn't matter about tonight. Not anymore now. Because you know there's always tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day, to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. So mourned Shakespeare's Macbeth for the death of his lady. How much will Our Lady called Deirdre mourn the death of her lover? We'll return shortly with Act 3.
And now another story of the ball and chain as Kellogg's Special K presents Veronica and Jack.
Oh, Jeffrey, isn't this romantic? Out in a quiet lake at night with you rowing the boat.
Yes, Veronica, it's really neat.
Jeffrey, what was that?
Frogs.
Frogs that go bonk?
They're pretty weird frogs.
Oh, Jeffrey, you're such a card. You have a ball and chain, like the ones they use in those Special K commercials.
Yes, Veronica, it symbolizes my few pounds of extra weight, but I'm going to get rid of it.
How?
By exercising. You know, like rowing this boat and eating smart at every meal, starting with a Special K breakfast.
You mean a 1 ounce bowl of high-protein Special K, 4 ounces of skim milk, orange juice, and coffee?
Precisely. It's less than 240 calories, and it tastes delicious. It'll help me get rid of this ball and chain.
I'll help too, Jeff. After all, we're all in the same boat.
You have a ball and chain, too.
Your happy ending could begin with the Special K breakfast from Kellogg's.
The Tab Paysetter account from Exchange Bank. An unusual name for an unusual checking account. TAB stands for Total Account Banking, and that means a complete package of 14 customer services. A Paysetter is a leader in its field, which means we have the only account of its kind in town. And here's what you get with your Tab Paysetter account. As many personalized checks as you need, and you get to write as many as you want. No minimum balance. $10,000 accidental death insurance, membership in Bank Club Association, installment loan discounts, all the money orders and traveler's checks you want, local and national discounts, a safety deposit box, and special deals on travel tours, a quarterly Bank Club newsletter, and financial counseling for the asking. You get all these services for only $3 a month. The Tab Paysetter account, an unusual name for an unusual checking account. From Exchange Bank, Harry Hines at Mockingbird, member FDIC.
No better introduction for what's to come, but the rest of Macbeth's lament. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. And then to the messenger who came, he said, "Thy story, quickly."
Deirdre?
Skylar.
Thank God you're still there.
I told you wouldn't lose me again.
That's all I wanted to know. Look, I can't talk now. I'll be at the apartment as soon as I can. Will you wait?
Through eternity, lover.
I've got to hang up.
God, what are you doing now?
Oh, it's all right, honey. I've just got to get to the office.
You're going into town today?
Yeah, I have to. You see, the deadline on the Bianchi account's day after tomorrow. I got my work cut out to meet it. I doubt if I can even get back tonight. Perhaps not even tomorrow night.
Well, what about Gary?
Honey, I checked the hospital, and he's fine. You knew that when we left at 4 o'clock this morning.
I'm still glad you checked again. I thought I heard you on the phone coming downstairs.
Well, I called a cab, too.
I can run you to the station in my car.
No, it's all right. It's better this way. Hey, you want some coffee?
No. My stomach's too upset. Oh, Sky, we could have lost Gary.
Well, we didn't, honey, so let's not agonize over it.
I don't know. Everything seems so confused. Like there was a sort of curse on us. And you worry me most of all.
Me?
You. You're like a stranger. Sky, why couldn't I reach you last night? What were you doing?
I told you, Isabel, I had work to do. I didn't want to be interrupted. I took the phone off the hook, and then I just forgot about it.
Work seems to be the only thing that matters to you nowadays. Sky, you only had 2 hours sleep. Do you have...
Come on, Isabel. We haven't got time for messing around. Now, you see, there's my cab.
Couldn't you at least take a later train?
Look, my job depends on this.
And you won't be home tonight.
I doubt it.
And, brother, I kid you not, you are in big trouble, Sky. Now, Peabody is really on the warpath. The only thing saving your neck for a day or so is that Bristol Proctor's in town.
Oh, Harry, please, will you lay off me? I've got everything under control.
Oh, boy, that is for laughs. Oh, now I get the whole picture. Why, you're off the rails, on the sauce, and running hot and cold flashes. Well, if you think some chick is worth what you're heading for, come on, let me give you some advice.
The only thing I want from you, Harry, is technical advice in your specialty.
What?
I want to take some pictures of a girl.
Well, bring her into the studio here.
No. That's just the trouble. She won't come here, and I'm only gambling that if she'll let anyone shoot her, it'll be me.
Well, you know from cameras. You're an idea man. Now, look, do me a favor, will you? Let's set up the copy like you suggested, and let me pick the girl.
Harry, listen, I've got the girl. If only you can get me a camera that's reasonably foolproof, I can get good enough stuff for the sample layouts. Then we can take it from there.
Well, the gal is that sensational.
Take my word for it.
Well, I can give you a Micron 35, 85-millimeter lens, a micro-blitz strobe with high-speed Ektachrome film.
That's okay. You name it. Just show me how to use it.
Oh, you don't have to worry too much about the strobe, even. The film will take natural light, and I'll push it in developing.
Okay, get me the camera. I'll be back with the picture in an hour.
Are you having fun, Skylar?
Oh, Deirdre, this isn't a game. This could mean our whole future.
It could indeed.
Yeah, just like that. I'm glad you let me talk you into taking the pictures. You won't be sorry.
I'm just very much afraid you will be, Skylar.
Oh, damn.
Sky, dear, I forgot to ask you.
Cutting out your wife?
Well, I've got to finish these pictures. Deirdre, why did you say I'd be sorry I took them?
Skylar, baby, I really don't photograph very well. You'll see.
You got the prints, Harry. That's great.
Well, I don't know how great you're going to think it is.
Huh? Come on, what do you mean?
I don't know what I mean. Look, I just don't see how you could have gotten everything so gummed up.
All right, just let me see.
Sure, help yourself. Everything's so out of focus, you can't tell a lamp from a couch. And as for the girl, well, you find her. I can't.
Well, I don't... She was right. Well, if that's the couch, she should be... Now, wait a minute. Let me see in this one. No, this one is... Oh, Harry. How could I have faked out so badly?
You got me. Sky.
Level? Yeah.
Is this some kind of a stupid put-on? I mean, what are you trying to pull on me?
Nothing, Harry. Honest. I shot the film at all the openings, the shutter speeds. I mean, everything that you laid out for me.
It all came out like this?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, we got to figure maybe the film was bad or the lens crystallized or something. Well, let's go back. I bring other equipment, and this time we bring home the bacon.
No, Harry. She wouldn't let you shoot her. I can't explain, but...
All right, so forget her.
I can't, Harry. I've got to take one more crack at it. Just one more.
Oh, man, you're crazy.
Would you help me?
You won't let me.
Some kind of camera that I just can't fail with.
Well, okay. Look, I'll give you an instant. 20 seconds, you'll know if you goof. You just keep adjusting it till it's right. I'll go get the camera.
Oh, you're an okay buddy. Thanks. Hello.
Oh, thank God it's you, Sky.
Isabel, what is it now?
I'm just at the end of my rope. I could swear somebody's got a hex on him.
What are you talking about?
You've got to come home. Gary's back in coma.
What? When did that happen?
About 10 this morning. I tried to reach you.
Isabel, listen. You've got to cope a little longer. Everything's falling apart for me here, too. I can't get home till at the earliest later tonight.
What's the matter? She won't let you go?
Ooh.
Oh, don't try to kid me. There has to be another woman. You couldn't be like this if there weren't. Okay, Sky. If this is the way you want it, you can just let us all go to hell.
Isabel.
The only thing I wish you is a one-way ticket there yourself.
Isabel.
Oh. Okay, Sky. Here's your instant camera. Now, maybe this will get us all a clearer picture of where we're going.
I feel just like a cat. I want to stretch and curl and purr.
Then let me take my pictures now.
Remember when I said I would take care of tomorrow? And tomorrow and tomorrow?
Yes.
That was a lot more than a promise.
I don't know what you mean.
Take your picture. And you'll know.
What is it, Deirdre? I've got this weird feeling that's taking me over. I'm scared.
The wages of sin. Take your picture. Shoot, Sky.
All right. All right, now just like that. Just hold it.
Now, while we wait for it to develop, let me tell you what you'll see.
Where?
On the picture. Everything sharply in focus for just a second, and then, where I should be, a blank. An empty hole in space. Look.
All right. Oh. Oh, Lord, no!
As I really look. You've never seen a witch before, have you?
No.
You think I'd be a successful model for your Bianchi account?
Who are you?
Look at your picture again.
Just what you said. You, whatever it was, it's gone.
But I'm still here. This is me. You won't let me go, will you, Skylar?
Why me, Deirdre?
A personal whim. And you were so ripe for the tempting.
You'd destroy me eventually.
Of course. But I could put it off for a while.
You don't have me that much in your spell.
Are you so confident? What makes you so?
This.
What are you doing with a gun?
Well, you see, it happens to be a hobby of mine. I can put 5 out of 6 in a 3/4-inch bullseye at 30 feet.
It won't save you anymore.
Oh, I know that, I know. But it can the rest of my family.
You wouldn't dare. I never thought you had a gun.
Guy. Witch. Guy. I saw the bullet strike her. I saw her fall. If she was mortal, she was dead. Just a second ago, 3 hours after I shot her, I rose and touched her cheek. It was cold as the grave. I go to meet her there now, or eternal damnation. I have no hope for myself. Only for you, Isabel, and for the children. Whatever harm there is left in her, I pray can reach only me alone. I hope I've brought you protection.
goodbye forever.
For I know whatever life after death there is, I can never, ever share it with any of you. I sold my soul to the devil, and the witch he sent to find me. Now, how do you like that for a confession, Jake?
What am I going to say, Sam? Them guys working in advertising, they're halfway round the bend.
I guess you got to be a little bit screwy to get into that kind of business in the first place.
Figures.
Now, hold it. Yeah? Oh, hi, Lieutenant. This is Detective Sandbanks. Yeah. It's pretty much like the story the wife called in from Connecticut. Guy left a confession you got to read. Won't help much. I mean, it's far out. Huh? Oh, the subject. Yeah, there's not much doubt from pictures around the apartment. This is Skylar Harris, all right. Sure, DOA. Bullet through the head. We're just waiting for the ME now. Well, what do you mean, both? There's nobody else in the apartment but the guy. The dame? There's not a sign of her. Well, you'll get it when you read the confession. The way I figure it, she was one of them, what do you call it? Firmaments of the imagination. I don't think she ever existed.
Did the detective mean to say figments of the imagination? Or was his choice of firmament perhaps nearer the truth? Was Deirdre more finite than he believed? Was she somebody of incarnate evil, clothed in beauty, who still stalks the day and the night, looking for other prey? I'll be back shortly.
John Jones, statistic, born with cleft feet and cleft palate.
Shirley Smith, statistic, born blind.
Tom Kelly, statistic, born with an open spine.
Statistic, children born with birth defects. 250,000 of them every year. 1 out of every 14 babies.
Small statistics with a whole life ahead of them.
Small statistics who cry and think and feel and want to write.
Why should life deny them good health at birth?
The March of Dimes leads the fight for this right.
Good health at birth. Good health at birth. Good health at birth.
Through medical service programs, public education, and scientific research.
So that one day the ultimate goal will be reached.
The prevention of all birth defects.
But birth defects are forever unless you help.
Please, will you give to the March of Dimes?
One parting word until we meet again. Be careful, commuters, and all the other men with extra time that weighs heavy on your hands. Look with a jaundiced eye at that fantasy girl who may materialize beside you in the train, or the bus, or on the stool next to you in your favorite bar. The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Welcome to our world of mystery and the macabre, of unbearable suspense. Sit back and lend us your imagination for a while. We'll do some remarkable things with it. Imagine, for instance, an elderly woman, Belle Richwood, alone and forgotten, except for her nephew Charles, her only living relative, and the only human being she ever sees, until one lonely night.
You're back. I can't believe it. Look, I've had just about enough of this. You people simply have to stop coming into my apartment. This just isn't right. I'm entitled to my privacy. Will you answer me when I speak to you? Now, get out of here and leave me alone. We won't have it. I'm going to tell Charles. He has to do something about this. Oh.
Hello?
Oh, Charles.
Hello, Aunt Belle.
Look, will you get over here and get these people out?
Who, Aunt Belle?
That man who was here last week. And this time he has a friend. A lady friend, no less. I'm frightened, Charles.
You mean that guy is back?
He certainly is. With this strange woman. Oh, hurry, Charles, please.
Our mystery drama, Strange Company, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Bob Juran and stars Bryna Rayburn. It is sponsored in part by the Kellogg Company, makers of Kellogg's Special K cereal, and by new sugar-free Diet 7-Up. I'll be back shortly with Act 1.
Great bakes in the morning, Kellogg's has that wholesome taste to get you up and grinning.
This is Jerry Coffer for Kellogg's Special K. We've been having some fun in our television and radio commercials by using a ball and chain to symbolize the slight overweight problem common to so many of us. We point out that being a few pounds overweight is just a little more difficult for you. Climbing stairs, just walking around, even sitting down can feel, well, like you're wearing a ball and chain. In case you missed the message, it's this. If you really want to get rid of that extra weight, you really have to work at it by exercising and with sensible meals like the Special K breakfast. A 1-ounce bowl of Special K, America's favorite high-protein cereal, 4 ounces of skim milk, tomato juice, and coffee. Less than 240 calories. Nutritious and, by the way, delicious. So why not begin each day with a Special K breakfast and then keep up the good work? Special K can't help you lose weight all by itself, but it really is a good start.
Inflation is something that we're really living with today, and State Farm has what we term inflation coverage.
Agent Gabe Franco, Fort Collins, Colorado, explains the low-cost inflation coverage State Farm offers homeowners in most areas.
What it really amounts to is, as the value of your home increases, the amount of coverage that you have on that home automatically increases. You don't have to call your agent every year and say, look, I think my home's increased in value. Would you raise my insurance? You don't have to do that. It's done automatically. The idea that their home is going to always be protected at all times for the full cost of replacing it is important to a person.
In most areas, State Farm Fire and Casualty offers a homeowner's policy that can increase your coverage automatically as the cost of replacing your home increases. A good reason to see your State Farm agent now.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
As we grow older, very often our fears darken, our anxieties deepen, and our thoughts indulge in some strange tricks. Belle Richwood and her sister Julia lived their whole lives together, almost recluses, until the neighborhood around them deteriorated to the point where their nephew Charles was forced to move them from the city to a peaceful apartment in the country. But for Belle and Julia, there was to be no peace.
Hello?
Oh, Charles, it's about time you answered.
What's the matter now, Aunt Belle?
Julia's fallen again. Can you get right over?
All right, Aunt Belle. Cover her up. I'll be right there.
Oh, for heaven's sake, hurry up. She's not moving this time. I think she's unconscious.
Julia's fallen again.
Third time this week.
Charles, Julia simply has got to go to a nursing home. Whether Belle likes it or not, she can't take care of Julia anymore, and we can't go on like this.
I know, Linda, I know. What are we going to use for money? All they've got is their Social Security. And I'm so deep in hock myself, I can't pay for a nursing home.
Well, I'm sick of you running over there at all hours to pick Julia off the floor or get her out of a bathtub. She's too old to be getting into a tub anyway.
I'm fed up, too.
I don't see why you bothered with them after your mother died.
I'm their only blood relative. I had to get involved.
Well, go pick Julia off the floor. And hurry back. Dinner's almost ready.
Oh, you took your time.
Where is she?
In the bedroom. Hurry. Can you get her up?
No, Aunt Belle. Julia's dead.
Oh, no. No, Charles. She's just unconscious.
No, Aunt Belle, she's gone.
No, I can't believe it.
The fall was just too much for her.
Not my Julie. She can't be. No, Julia, dear. Wake
Please,
up. Wake up.
Aunt Belle. Please. I'll have to make some phone calls first. I'll take you back to our place.
No. I can't leave Julia.
But they'll be taking her away in a little while. You'll be better off at home with Linda.
It was all because we moved to this apartment. We should have stayed in the city.
Aunt Belle, we've been through all this. I moved you out of the city because you were mugged twice in your own elevator.
This place isn't any better. Julia always hated this apartment. I think it hates us. It's evil. Julia's gone. What am I going to do?
No. You've got to think about yourself.
Myself? I haven't thought about myself for 60 years. It's always been Julia.
But you won't have to worry about her anymore.
What do you mean, Charles? I'm more worried about her. More than ever.
Time to leave, Aunt Belle.
Oh, couldn't I stay with her a little while longer? She looks just as though she's asleep.
A few minutes more. We'll wait in the lobby.
Julia, dear, do you want to wake up now?
Aunt Belle.
It's all right, Linda.
Perhaps you're better off sleeping, dear. I'll have a nice snack ready for you when you wake.
Come on, Linda.
But Charles...
I said come on.
She shouldn't be alone in there. She doesn't believe Julia's dead.
Yes, she does.
But you heard her.
Belle's been a sister to Julia for 60 years. And a mother for 10. It'll take her time to get over Julia's death.
Gives me the chills.
Don't worry about it.
I suppose we'd better go now. You'll have to be getting back to work.
I'm not working today, Aunt Belle. I got the day off. You're coming back to the house with us.
Charles, I have to settle with you about the funeral expense. I'll take care of them, of course.
Plenty of time for that later. Now, I want you to watch your head.
Oh,
That's it.
Thank you, Charles. Yes, I'm in.
Well, Linda, would you want her any more rational than that?
I suppose not. What a relief.
You didn't have to see me in, Charles. I'll be all right.
Don't be silly, Aunt Belle.
And thanks for having me to dinner. You were right. I wouldn't have wanted to be alone today.
I hate leaving you now, but...
Oh, I'll be all right. I have to get used to it.
I'll stop in tomorrow night after work.
Yes, do. And I'll give you the money for the expenses. Do you know how much they are?
Well, that can wait, Aunt Belle. In fact, I didn't think you'd be able to cover it. I was planning to take out a loan.
Oh, nonsense. I have it, and I'll pay it.
Well, it's $1,500.
All right. I'll have it counted out for you tomorrow.
You mean you have that much in cash here? I don't think that's a wise thing to do.
No, nonsense. I've always had cash on hand.
Well, that's up to you. You'll be all right tonight?
Don't worry about me. Come by tomorrow.
I'll lock the door behind me.
I always do.
Good night, Aunt Belle.
Good night, Charles. I wonder if there's any ginger ale in the refrigerator. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to tell Charles. Charles! Oh, he's gone. Hello, Linda. Yes, I'm all right. Oh, Linda, Charles just left, and I wanted to tell him something. Would you please have him call when he gets in? Yes. Thank you. I may as well start. Oh, you. How did you get in here? Answer me. What do you want? I order you to leave my apartment. Why don't you say something? Stop sitting there smiling. How dare you just come in and sit on my furniture? Tell me what you want. If you don't, I'll get you out of here. I'm calling my nephew. Oh, dear, I remember he isn't home. Please, what do you want? Why won't you answer me? I'll give you whatever you want if you please leave. Please. Oh, thank God, Charles.
I just got in and Linda said you wanted to see
Oh,
me.
Charles, there's a strange man in my apartment.
What?
He's sitting on the sofa. He won't say anything and he won't leave.
Did he threaten you?
No, he isn't doing anything, but he won't go.
I'll be right there. Now, don't do anything to antagonize him.
Aunt Belle! Aunt Belle!
Oh, Charles, thank you for coming.
Where is he?
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, thank God for that. I called the police. But how did he get in? Tell me what happened.
I don't know. I put the chain on the door after you. Then I called Linda, and when I turned around, there he was.
He must have been in the apartment when we arrived. In the bedroom or the bathroom, maybe.
He must have been. I certainly didn't let him in, but he left in a hurry when he heard me talking to you.
Well, I'll check the rest of the apartment just to be sure.
No, I'm more mad than scared. The nerve of him just sitting there smiling, not saying a word.
I'll get it.
Mr. Gordon?
Oh, yes, come in, officer.
You reported a prowler?
Yes. This is my aunt, Miss Richwood.
Just a few questions. You say he was here in the apartment?
Yes, sitting right on that sofa.
I think he was hiding here when we came in, officer. We had just got back from the funeral of Miss Richwood's sister.
What time was that?
About 9.
And you didn't see him then?
No.
Tell me, Miss Richwood, what did he do? Or say? Did he threaten you?
No, he wouldn't say a word. He just sat there smiling.
Oh. And when did he leave?
Well, when my nephew called, that must have scared him off, because when I turned back, he was gone.
All right, Miss Richwood. We're searching the rest of the building. We'll put out a bulletin on him. We'll call you if we find a suspect. We'll need an identification.
Yes, of course.
Good night now.
Good night, officer, and thank you. Aunt Belle, now you've got to come home with me. You can't stay here alone tonight.
Oh, I have to stay here, Charles. I don't dare leave the apartment. Not if someone's getting in.
But then I'll have to stay with you.
Oh, no, you don't. No, I'll be all right. Now that we know there's no one here.
Well, I hate...
I'll lock the door. No one will get in. And with the police around, I feel doubly safe.
Okay, Aunt Belle. But I'll call you when I get home, and I'll be in after work tomorrow.
Oh, yes. Do come by, Charles. I'll have the money for you, for Julia's funeral.
Aunt Belle, your money, could this guy have taken it?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't seem to. Oh, dear.
Where'd you have it?
In the bedroom. I always thought this was the safest. Oh, thank heaven. Oh, it's here.
You're sure? All of it?
Well, the suitcase is here. He couldn't have known. Oh, yes. There's no money missing.
Good grief.
Oh, it's all there. Oh, I'm not worried, Charles. That man won't be back.
But, Aunt Belle, all that money...
Oh, don't worry, Charles. I'm going to hide my money in a different place, just in case.
Charles, it's time Belle went into a nursing home, or at least a home for the aging. That man last week could have killed her. She shouldn't be living alone.
She's doing all right.
She's doing all right. And what about us? I'm sick of sharing you with them. Or her now. For 2 years, you've been nursemaid to Belle and Julia.
Linda, it had to be that way.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of everything. And if you won't put her in a nursing home, I'll leave you, Charlie.
No, you won't.
You just see.
Belle's not going to a nursing home, Linda. Those homes cost money.
The state takes care of old people who don't have money.
But Belle has money, Linda. Lots of it.
What do you mean, lots of it?
A suitcase so full of hundreds she can hardly close it. I saw it that night the man got in. She opened it in front of my eyes and counted out the $1,500 for the undertaker.
So great, she's got some money. She can afford a nursing home.
Oh, no, Linda, I'm not going to see that money go into a nursing home. That money is going to be ours.
You mean we're in her will?
She hasn't got a will, but she's got a suitcase full of money. And I'm her only next of kin.
So? What good is it to you?
I'm the only one who knows it's there. When she dies, Linda, that money is ours. The way I feel now, every cent she spends is coming out of my pocket.
But she might live for years.
She might. And that's why I want to keep her in her nice little cheap apartment. She doesn't spend more than $15 a week for food. We're going to be extra nice to Aunt Belle, Linda. After all, we're protecting an investment.
You're back. I can't believe it. I've had just about enough of this. You people simply have to stop coming into my apartment. Get out of here and leave us alone. Well, we won't have it. I'm going to tell Charles he has to do something about this. Oh.
Hello?
Oh, Charles.
Hello, Aunt Belle.
Will you get over here and get these people out?
Who, Aunt Belle?
That man who was here last week. And this time he has a friend. A lady friend, no less.
Aunt Belle, you mean that guy is back?
He certainly is, and with a strange woman.
I'll be right over.
Oh, please do. They're upsetting Julia terribly. I think she's afraid of them.
Julia? Aunt Belle, Julia is dead. She can't be there.
Strange company indeed. That suspicious man is back, and with a lady friend. An accomplice, no doubt. It's not easy being alone and old and rich. But Julia, that sort of thing doesn't happen. Belle must be imagining things. I'll be back shortly with Act 2.
Oh, somebody's been drinking my sugar-free diet 7-Up. And it's all gone.
Oh, actually, I saved a little.
Oh, a bear.
Hiya, Goldie. What's brewing?
That's Miss Goldilocks to you.
Oh, come on, kid. You mean you don't remember me? The cottage, the 3 chairs, the porridge?
Baby bear.
In the fur. Been a long time, Goldie.
But baby bear.
Just call me BB.
You drank all the sugar-free diet 7-Up, and I have to conduct another diet drink taste test today.
Well, yeah, I saw the sign on the door, a professional taste tester, huh?
But how can I conduct my taste test now?
Why bother? I tried those other diet drinks, too. You'll notice there's still plenty of them around. Why not ask me?
Well, okay, BB. Tell me, why did you drink all the sugar-free diet 7-Up?
I like the taste. Light, fresh, natural. Sugar-free diet 7-Up is definitely unbearably delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Orange or Glad?
Glad is what happens when you use Dial soap.
Orange or Glad?
It starts right out with a clean, fresh scent that's like nothing else.
Orange or Glad?
To get you going, clean and fresh.
Orange or Glad? 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 Just to be. Orange or Glad?
Dial washes away the cause of odor on your skin.
Orange or Glad?
You just can't buy a better deodorant soap than Dial.
Orange or Glad?
And that's saying something.
Orange or Glad? Orange or Glad? Do you Dial? Orange or Glad? Do you Dial? Orange or Glad? Orange or Glad? Do you Dial? Orange or Glad?
Let's return to the apartment of Belle Richwood, where, so she says, her late sister has spent the day, along with some other questionable companions. Her nephew Charles is with her now, And it seems as though the visitors have left.
Belle, look. There's no one in this chair.
I know. They're not here now.
And this is where you saw Julia, in this chair?
Yes. Yes, and I'm so worried. Where can she be?
Aunt Belle, you know Julia passed away. Julia is...
Yes, I know. I feel so terrible about Julia. Do you think we should call the police?
No, they couldn't help.
But they could look for her. I remember one time in the city she wandered away.
Aunt Belle, stop it.
Charles.
We cannot look for Julia because Julia is...
I know. Julia's...
Then stop saying you saw her in the apartment.
It's all right, Charles. I won't mention Julia again. But I do wish you'd do something about the other two.
The other two?
I told you before. The man who comes in here, and now the woman.
Oh, yes, those.
I simply don't understand how they're getting in.
Doesn't it stand to reason that you're imagining there's a man and woman here?
Charles, I know real people when I see them.
Have you ever touched them?
Oh, heavens, no.
But that might convince you.
Oh, why should I have to touch them? I know they're here.
But they never speak, isn't that right?
Yes, that's true. They don't talk.
Aunt Belle, I don't know who or what they are, but there's nothing I can do about them.
Well, I can. The next time they show up, I'm calling the police.
No, I wouldn't do that, Aunt Belle. You couldn't tell them any more than you already have.
Well, they can certainly put a stop to strange people in my apartment. And another thing, I'm going to find another place to hide my money.
Well, that is a good idea.
Charles, come closer. They might be listening. Now, I want you to know where my money is, just in case. I'm going to hide that suitcase. You know, the one you saw it.
Yes.
I'm going to hide that behind the refrigerator.
Good idea.
But where should I hide the other one?
2 suitcases full of money?
And who knows if that's even all. You see why I want to keep things just as they are?
But Julie, that man that's getting in with all that money
there is no man, or Julia either. She's imagining that Julia is back, and she imagines she sees those people too. They aren't there. Oh, it's just one of those things that comes with age, hardening of the arteries or something like that. It does things to the brain.
But if they're so real to her...
Yes, they are real to her. And all that money is real to me. All ours when Belle...
dies?
Yes.
As long as no one else knows the money's there.
No one does.
And you'd better make sure she doesn't talk to anyone.
Like whom? I'm the only person she ever sees.
She wanted to call the police about Julia.
Don't worry. I see her every night now. I'll keep her under control. Hi, Aunt Belle.
Oh, Charles, I'm so glad you came by tonight. I know how those people are getting in.
You do?
Yes, through here. They're coming right through this door.
Aunt Belle, that's a closet. It's the clothes closet.
Oh, that explains where they live, then. They always come through this door. In fact, that woman came in today, and nice as you please, she picked up my coat and put it on. I could have smacked her face.
Maybe you should have, Aunt Belle.
Well, I couldn't bring myself to do that.
But you would have found out that woman doesn't exist. She's just in your imagination.
Oh, yes? Well, I'm not imagining. Missing $100.
What?
I had the rent money all counted out. It was in an envelope on the kitchen table, and now it's gone. I reported it to the police.
Aunt Belle, you didn't.
Oh, of course. Why shouldn't I?
Because you probably misplaced the money and think it's gone. What do the police say?
Well, that nice young officer who came the other time said they'd send out a search for that woman. She's the one, I know.
Belle, I don't think you ought to keep so much money around.
Well, I had thought of putting it in the bank.
I was thinking maybe you ought to let me take care of it for you. I mean, with one case behind the refrigerator.
Shh. They'll hear you. Don't let them know where it is.
Oh. Yes, you're right, Aunt Belle.
Is anybody watching? No.
No.
Oh, good. Oh, come on. We're going to move the suitcases. Now, you get the one behind the refrigerator, and I'll get the one under the sink.
How did you ever get it back here? I can hardly... There it is.
I'm simply going to put them in the bathroom and keep an eye on them. They say if you really want to hide something, keep it out in the open where no one would think of looking for it.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Well, come on, bring that case in here to the bathroom.
Right away, Aunt Belle.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, she won't miss it.
Charles, bring the case in here.
Okay, Aunt Belle, I'm coming. There you are.
Oh, put it there in the tub next to the other one. No one's going to look for my money there. Now, how about a nice glass of wine?
Good boy, Charlie. Now you're using your head.
She'll never miss it. But if she does, we know who to blame it on.
A bunch of people who don't even exist.
The only thing that worries me...
What?
They exist for her. They're real to her.
Well, so what? She count her money every day?
She probably will now.
Like you said, Charlie, you're her next of kin. The money's ours anyway when she dies. We're just taking a little advance. I ordered that bracelet I've been wanting at Wilson's Jewelers.
But if she finds any more missing, she might go to the police.
Well, then, why don't you get there before she does?
Oh, hello, Miss Richwood.
Oh, Mr. Geller, I'm sorry to bother you.
That's what superintendents are for, Miss Richwood. And you don't bother me a tenth as much as some of the other people in this building.
Mr. Geller, I wonder if you'd mind coming upstairs and getting rid of those people. I can't seem to make them leave this time.
People? What people?
Why, all those people in my apartment.
Oh, sure. I'll throw them out. Come on.
I really hate to bother you, but my nephew's at work, and I'm afraid to call the police again.
All right. I don't want strange people in my building, much less in one of the apartments. Don't worry. I'll get them out.
Where did they all go?
You're sure there were people here, Miss Richwood?
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm not crazy yet. There was that man and woman who always come in, and two little girls.
Well, we didn't pass them on the stairs, and there's no floor above this. How can they get out?
Oh, but now my sister's gone, too. Oh, do you think they took her with them? Oh, this is terrible. How am I going to find Julia?
Mr. Gordon?
Yes? Oh, hello, Mr. Geller.
Mr. Gordon, this isn't my business, really, but I don't think your aunt ought to be living alone.
What happened?
She called me up today to throw some people out of her apartment.
And there wasn't anybody there.
That's right. And then she started looking for her sister.
Yes, she shouldn't be living alone. I'm trying to get another living arrangement for her.
I think that's a good idea. I wouldn't want her to be embarrassed, you know, by other tenants.
I know.
Just thought I'd mention it.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Mr. Geller. Aunt Belle, it's me.
Oh, come in, Charles. Did I have a day?
Belle, you shouldn't have gone to the superintendent.
Well, I had to get those people out.
I suppose you did. Aunt Belle, how about a glass of wine?
Oh, of course. I have some chilling in the refrigerator.
I'll just wash up in the bathroom, if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Do you want an ice cube in yours, Charles?
Sure, fine. Now, let's see. Yeah. There they are. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man.
Charles, what are you doing?
I'll be right there, just drying my hands. I didn't get a chance to wash up at the shop.
Oh, well, sit down and have your wine. I've got something important to tell you.
Yes?
I've been robbed.
What?
$1,000 gone from one of my suitcases.
No.
Now, I had a feeling something was missing, and I counted all the money in that particular case. $1,000 gone.
Are you sure? Maybe you didn't count it right.
Oh, no, I counted it twice. In fact, I'm going to count it again with you here to make sure. We'll count it together, and you'll see. $7,600.
Well, that's right.
But it should be 8,000, even with that 1,000 gone.
You mean there's more missing?
Yes, 400 more. I just don't know what to do. I'm running out of hiding places. Those awful people.
Aunt Belle, why don't you let me take care of it for you?
You?
Yes, I'll keep the suitcases. They'll be safe with me. Those people are stealing from you. You can't keep all that money around anymore.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're right, Charles. I've never done this before. But on Friday, I'm putting it all in the bank.
Oh, don't let her, Charlie. Keep things just as they are. I need another $2,000 for Wilson's Jewelers by Saturday.
I'll stall her, don't worry. Even if I have to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs.
It's not safe to have cash lying around these days, particularly when you have unscrupulous relatives. Strange how the smell of money can drive people to acts they'd never dream of committing. We'll see just how far Charles Gordon is willing to go when I return shortly with Act 3.
Never heard of beer on the rocks? No? Swell. The people who brew Budweiser never have thought ice in your beer was such a cool idea anyway. If you only knew how ice cuts down the head and waters the taste. Oh, a chilling thought. A downright tragedy with Budweiser especially. Budweiser is the king of beers. The only beer in America that's beechwood aged, naturally carbonated, which means Bud brews its own bubbles, tiny ones, over a dense lattice of beechwood strips. The beer ages the best way, the right way, naturally. But add an ice cube and bloop, there goes all that extra effort. So if you forget to cool enough Bud, skip the cubes and put your Budweiser on ice for a while, on the coldest shelf in your refrigerator. Even if the wait does frost you a little, it'll be worth it. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Growing a lawn and garden is really satisfying. You help create something where there was nothing before. And what you create is good to look at or good to eat or both. Hi, Frank Lieber here for True Value Hardware Stores. They have a wide selection of True Temper tools to help you get those green things to grow. You can take your pick of 4 tools designed for close-in gardening work for just $1.99 each. Get a regular trowel, a 3-time cultivator, a transplanting trowel, or a dandelion digger. All 4 have chrome-plated finishes and finger-molded grips, just $1.99 each. True Value Hardware Stores have True Temper tools for big jobs, too. A round-point shovel with a hollow back blade and a long ash handle, just $5.44. And a lawn rake with 22 spring steel teeth and a 52-inch handle, just $3.99. This spring, you can get help getting things to grow. See the True Temper tools at your participating True Value Hardware store. Check the yellow pages.
Charles Gordon seems to have a good thing going for him. An almost unlimited supply of cash, thanks to his aunt and a few suspicious visitors. But now Belle threatens to spoil all that by putting her money in the bank. And Charles did say he was going to protect his investment.
Charlie, you wouldn't kill her.
I'll find some way to stop her from putting that money in the bank.
That's not what you said. You said kill.
So I said kill. I didn't mean it. Now get off my back.
Look, Charlie, I want that money as much as you do.
Just let me handle it, will you? And shut up.
What are you doing?
Protecting our investment. Hello, Mr. Geller. This is Mr. Gordon. Miss Richwood's nephew. Fine, thanks. I hate to bother you, but I wonder if you'd mind running upstairs and seeing if my aunt is okay. She doesn't answer the phone. No, and she wouldn't be in bed at this hour. Thanks, I'll wait.
Charlie, you've got something going I don't like. That was an outright lie.
A white lie. I want him on my side.
What do you mean, your side?
I've been thinking about this a long time. Now, just leave it to me. Yes. Oh, yes, thanks, Mr. Geller. Was her door bolted with a chain? Good. Well, thanks again. I wanted to be sure she was okay. She wasn't feeling too well when I left her tonight. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Okay, Charlie. I won't ask any more.
Stop worrying, Linda. Tomorrow I'm going to see Aunt Belle and persuade her not to put her money in the bank. It's as simple as that.
I thought you weren't coming by tonight.
I just wanted to drop in and talk.
Well, Charles, what are you up to?
What do you mean?
Why did you have the superintendent come up and check on me last night?
I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
I was all right, and you knew it. Charles, I know you took the money. The money you said they must have taken.
Aunt Belle, I didn't take your money. Why do you think I did?
They told me.
The little man who wasn't there and his girlfriend?
They saw you take it, and they told me.
Aunt Belle, I can't reason with you. I can't argue with hallucinations. You just think what you want.
Well, I'm getting all the money into the bank, where it will be safe from you. Charles, I'll give you a chance to give it back. Before I go to the police.
The police?
Well, of course. You stole from me, and I have witnesses.
Such as they are. Anyway, you'll have your money safe in the bank soon, won't you?
You bet I will.
Yes, well, I have to be getting home. You want me to drive you to the bank on Friday?
I'll get a cab. Thank you.
I'm sorry you feel this way, Aunt Belle.
You should have thought of that before you took the money.
Aunt Belle, you'll be sure to lock the door behind me.
I always do.
And particularly the chain bolts. That's very important.
I know that.
I'll call you tomorrow.
All right. I'll be waiting for you to return the money.
I'll be sure and put the chain bolt on.
I will. Good night, Charles.
Aunt Belle, it's me. I forgot something.
What?
Open the door, but keep the chain on. I just want to tell you something. Don't take the chain off.
What do you want?
Pleasant dreams, you old witch.
Well, did you persuade her?
She won't be putting her money in the bank. She changed her mind.
How come?
Well, I made her see there wasn't anything to worry about. I finally convinced her the people she was seeing were in her imagination.
Ren, you didn't...
Didn't what?
Hurt her.
Linda, what do you think I am? Would I hurt a frightened old woman, much less my own aunt?
I just can't help thinking what you said about the goose that lays the golden eggs.
Oh, come on, Linda. Belle's all right. You want me to prove it to you? Call her?
No. No, Charlie, I'll take your word.
Oh, I want to prove it to you. You think I've turned into an ogre or something? Just over a few lousy bucks?
I didn't mean that, Charlie.
Well, I'll show you. Hello, Aunt Belle. Everything all right? Well, Linda and I were just talking about you, and we wanted to be sure everything was okay. Good. Good to see you tomorrow night, Aunt Belle. She's fine.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gordon. Oh, anything wrong?
I don't know. My aunt doesn't answer the door. Could you come up and open it with your key? I'm worried.
Oh, sure, Mr. Gordon.
Now, she might be asleep, but she hasn't been feeling too well lately, and I'm a little concerned.
Well, like I said before, a lady like your aunt shouldn't be living alone.
Yes, I know.
I've got to do something about her.
She's got the chain on.
Aunt Belle?
Mr. Gordon, look. She's on the floor, right by the door.
I'll have to break it in.
Let's go.
Aunt Belle.
I think she's dead, Mr. Gordon.
She is.
Look at her head. She must have hit this table.
We never should have left her alone last night. She was feeling weak.
I'd better call the police.
Yes, please.
I'll go downstairs and call them. I'm sure sorry, Mr. Gordon.
Yes, hurry, please. Well, dear Aunt Belle, I'm sorry, too. Sorry I didn't do this sooner. It's all you deserve for the trouble you've given me for months. Now, I'm going to get what I deserve. I'll try out of the bed first. Yeah, not there. Empty. You clever old bird. I bet you would think of that. Back under the sink. And the other must be behind the refrigerator. Where I'd never think of looking for them, eh? Aunt Belle?
Mr. Gordon, the police are on the way.
Thanks.
They said not to touch anything.
No, we mustn't touch anything.
That hit on the head must have done it. Poor Olga.
Yes, I wish I'd moved her out sooner to a retirement home.
Oh, looks like she was planning to go somewhere with those suitcases ready.
Oh, those. Oh, she always had her memoirs out to look at. They're full of old photos, school programs. She's shown them to me 100 times.
That's all they've got at this age, memories.
Yes, well, I'm going to take these along with me. They're really all that's left of Aunt Belle. And I'll give the furniture to some charity.
Well, say, my brother just got married, and he sure could use it.
Police! Oh, come in, officer.
You're Mr. Charles Gordon?
Yes.
Any idea how it happened?
She must have fallen. She was alone. She was just like this when we found her.
Well, it happens a lot with older people. Oh, bad bruise on the head.
We think she hit that table when she fell.
Huh? That looks like the answer. I'll call in. They'll send an ambulance. There'll have to be an autopsy. Oh, and I'll need a statement from both of you.
The door was chained from the inside. It had to be an accident.
I didn't say it wasn't. I only said I'd have to get a statement.
She's at peace now.
Charlie, I feel nervous about all that money back at the house.
Why? No one knows it's there. No one knew she had anything. And little by little, I'm going to bank it, invest it, slowly, so nobody gets suspicious.
I'm still nervous about $90,000 in the fireplace chimney.
Oh, come on, Linda. I'll take you home. I'm going to Belle's apartment and pack up her personal things.
Okay. But don't be all afternoon. I don't like being alone with all that money.
Oh, hello, Mr. Gordon.
I've come to start clearing my aunt's things, Mr. Geller. Would you let me in, please?
Oh, sure, Mr. Gordon. I'm sure sorry about your aunt. When's the funeral?
We had it this morning. There wasn't anyone but my wife and me.
Too bad old people have to live alone. If you need any help, I'll be glad to do
Thank
anything.
you. I'm just going to pack her personal things.
Well, all right. Call if you need anything.
Thank you. Now, let's see. I'll start with the bedroom. No use saving any of this stuff. Get it into the cartons and out to the dump. Oh, Linda might want these blankets, though. Poor Aunt Belle. 2 torn slips in an empty drawer. I'll have to... What was that? Someone there? Is that you, Mr. Geller?
No, that must have been the people upstairs. Completely empty. I never realized Aunt Belle was... There is someone out there. There's no one here. I'm letting my imagination get me. It is kind of spooky in here, all alone. Oh, poor old thing, what she must have gone through, alone all the time. No wonder she started seeing things. I'll get all the stuff from the bedroom and... That was something. Who's there? Answer me, who's there? I heard you. I know there's someone here. I heard you. Now, where are you? Why don't you answer me, damn it? Whoop. Hello?
Oh, Charles, thank God you answered.
Linda.
Charles, come home quickly right now.
Linda, what's the matter?
It's this man in the living room.
What man?
I don't know who he is. He just sits there on the couch, smiling at me. He won't leave and he won't answer me. He won't say a word.
Good Lord.
Oh, Charles, I'm scared. Come home now, please. Charles!
Funny how word gets around when there's money hidden somewhere. It looks as though Charles is in for some strange company of his own. But then, that sort of thing doesn't happen. Linda must be imagining things. I'll be back shortly.
People can reach, people can touch, people can help, people so much.
This is Paul Newman speaking. I want to tell you about one of the most courageous actors I know, Bill Gargan. At the height of his very successful career, Bill lost his voice to cancer of the larynx. Naturally, everyone thought Bill was through as a performer. But thanks to his fighting spirit, his determination, and also the American Cancer Society's laryngectomy rehabilitation program, Bill learned to speak again. Now he's giving the finest performances of his career, inspiring others like him to find new voices and renewed confidence there's a full life ahead. When your American Cancer Society volunteer calls, think of Bill Gargan and give generously. Join the people who care about people. We want to wipe out cancer in your lifetime.
The imagination is a curious thing. It can haunt us, help us, even hurt those who cross the line between imagination and reality. Imagination, the stuff of which dreams and radio mystery theater plays are made. We hope we've teased yours with tonight's story, and hope you'll be back for more. Our cast included Bryna Rayburn, Laurie March, George Petrie, and Gilbert Mack. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. And now, a preview of our next tale.
There are no such things as ghosts. I'm just imagining things. But I see you. I see you. Now, don't hurt me. Whatever you are, please, stay away from me. You want me to leave the house? I will, if that's what you want. I'll go right down the stairs, walk out of the house, and never come back. Is that what you want? Please. No! Don't touch me! Let me out!
Suicide. That's what all the papers say, Mr. Garth. But we know better. It's ghosts. That house is haunted.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
the Easter Bunny, and Sears Candy Shop is ready with brimming baskets of special surprises for little girls and boys. Baskets laden with sweets and super surprises, all filled in the candy shop so they're always fresh. From $2.99 to $29.95. There's a bevy of the bunny's friends, too. Plush Easter toys from $2.49 to $8.99 in the candy shop at Sears.
You're listening to the sports voice of the Great Southwest, KRLD,